Hi, my name is Brian Matthews, and I'm cruising with Phil.
Hey, Mr. Brian Matthews, I gotta press the button there. Get over here. How you doing?
Good, Phil.
Thanks,
How are
thanks for
you?
coming. Hey, we're at Nielsen Park, right?
Nielsen Park.
That's where you went to
in
meet.
Malvern. I wanted to be here. It's a beautiful, beautiful park.
I haven't been here in a long time.
It's, I know, it's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's nice
right?
and a lot of
It's a hidden gem.
It is, yeah.
Right?
Because I usually go to the library. I don't come any further back.
Yeah, right. And community centers that way. We have a beautiful playground here for the kids. Excellent baseball diamonds over there.
It's all brand new, right?
And a whole big parking lot here,
nice.
right? If you need to go pee quickly, they've got porta potties, and if you're caught in the rain, you can still have your picnic. So it's.
My name's Phil Cruz. Welcome, Brian Matthews.
Yeah.
And you're running for, let me see it, Scarborough-Rouge Park, Ward 25.
Ward 25, Scarborough-Rouge Park, Councillor. Yeah.
First time running?
First time running.
Yeah. So what
First
made,
time
what made
running.
What made you want to run?
First time running the full distance.
The full distance.
The full distance. A long time ago, like 10 years ago, or so, I wanted to be on the ballot.
Oh yeah.
Up when Ron Moser was kind of at his last legs, and Jennifer McKelvey was coming in.
Yep.
And so I had my name on the ballot.
Oh, you registered?
I registered. Then something happened personally, and I removed my name off the ballot.
What year was this?
That I think it was 2014, if I remember properly, right? And at that time we met trustee candidates, councillor candidates at a place that was at Manson Kingston Road, where they're tearing it down and building that building now, right? Which had a big patio and stuff. So I met Jennifer McKelvey at that time, and then after that, I personal issues, things.
Well, how long did it take before you pulled your name out?
Before the deadline, I pulled my name out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you ran the whole 6 months?
No. I pulled my. There's a deadline.
Oh,
before they solidify who's on the ballot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before that, I pulled my name off.
Oh, okay.
So
I forgot about once you pass the deadline, your name's on there, right?
Your name's on there regardless. Yeah.
Even though they can't take it off, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're still enlisted. I remember that. Yeah. You told me that.
Yeah. So.
Oh, it's your first time.
First time going the distance. First time going the distance.
How's the campaign going?
It's honestly, I think overall it's been a amazing experience. It's been great going door to door in all areas of the ward.
Did you cover the whole ward?
Talking to people. I've not knocked on every door in the ward. That's hard to do in 3 months.
It is. People don't realize that.
I have been in every part of the ward and talked to a lot of people in each section of the ward.
That's good.
And most people, after 5 minutes of talking to me or so, they like what I have to say.
That's good.
So that's a good indication in my estimate. Yeah. My website's got fantastic traction.
Yeah. Actually, you got the most views on the little interviews like that.
Yeah, the videos, the past videos we did.
You're almost close to 200.
But, so.
And Diane's after you. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Surprising, remember I said the underdog? I didn't mean to call you underdog. You're right before. I said the last time you're not the underdog, but no, the known candidates, like they're high profile.
Yeah, so there's a mix of candidates, right? You have the trustees, okay, and obviously they've run before, they're used to the process, right? Then you have the selection of candidates who always run, no matter what, right? They're on every ballot every time it comes around.
I know one guy ran for mayor twice, and he's a friend of mine. In less than 1 year, he ran 4 times. Mayor, by-election, MVP, ward.
Yeah,
it was funny.
All right, so I'm not going to be one of those.
No.
Right. I'm not going to be one of those.
That's good.
Right. And then there's ones
you live in the ward, right?
Yeah.
You're from the ward.
Yeah,
how long
definitely. So.
Okay, let's go by your background.
So, in the 90s, I had worked in the ward, right? Had girlfriend's going to university in the ward. That was the time of Mr. Bernardo
Oh yes.
and
Yes.
Elizabeth Bain
Yeah, I remember that.
happenings in the ward.
Yeah.
Then I moved downtown for a section, right? I actually managed the Velvet Underground on Queen Street West for a time in my
Oh really?
late
Oh,
mid
Velvet
to
Underground,
mid,
eh?
yeah, my mid
Yeah.
to late 20s.
People know who that is, but yeah.
Right? Not the band, not the band.
No.
Right? And then got my real estate license late 2002, and then got married, and then bought our first house in the ward. That was about 2005, 2006. I had that house for a number of years. Then we found out we were pregnant with my son. Moved into another house in West Hill.
Did your first kid?
Yeah, first and only. Moved into another house in West Hill. Then divorce.
Oh.
Separation, divorce. I don't want to get too much into it for privacy concerns for my ex and my son. But that was a lengthy, difficult process.
Is that during the election? You pull your name out for that?
Just slightly after,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
So very lengthy, 6 years, multiple separation agreements, and yeah, just at that time, I felt like my life was, my life was up in the air. It was collapsing, to be honest. And again, I can't get too much personally into it. So at that time, in order to maintain a 50-50 relationship with my son and various things that were happening to me through other people at the time, I actually I had to move in with my sister to
In the ward?
maintain the co-parenting
Oh, okay.
relationship with my son. So I did that. So temporarily moved out of the ward. Right. Before the election was called, I had always made plans to return
Mhm.
to the ward, right? And so I've completed those plans now
Okay.
to
How old's your son
return
now?
to the ward. He's now 14.
14, eh?
So,
So you made sacrifices as a father just to be with your son, right?
yeah, at one point, so I actually stopped renewing my real estate license for a number of years because of the pressure of that environment of selling with the pressure of my separation divorce proceedings, right? So I had to I just didn't renew it. I didn't get suspended or anything like that. I just didn't renew it for a number of years, and then I applied to get it back 2001 or 2002, something like that, and got it back pretty easily. And so the brokerage I'm with now, the brokers that own it, so it's a team underneath Remax Realtron, right? The heads of that team, Joe Baglieri was my manager when I was at the Remax West in Highland Creek, right? So they treat me very well, do quite nicely, being a part of that environment. So
Felt good back in the
part of
back in circles thing?
yeah, felt good back in the circles. So he too has a lot of connections to Highland Creek and Port Union, things that I'm sure probably some of your viewers might recognize.
Yeah, I know the name,
his
yeah.
name, right? So yeah, a lot of interconnectivity with
Are you
the
still in
thing.
contact with him?
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
how did you feel when you said you're gonna run?
Yeah, he was very happy for me.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
That's good.
yeah. He was very happy, all
Well,
supportive.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah.
Plus his connections too, right?
Yeah, he has,
Yeah.
he knows people.
Oh, I know.
He knows
yeah,
people.
yeah.
Right?
It's funny how
You
you
know,
mentioned that.
so-
We were talking about the last few elections. People ran into your election. I know from last year's. You know, even though you guys all compete as candidates, I saw you guys talking to each other.
Yeah.
Through the years, you would bond. That'll be that bond always there.
Yeah.
You ran together, like my
Yeah.
group and your group, you know?
Yeah.
I see that. I see that talking among yourselves and joking. I said, you know, you guys will run through the years. You might work together one day, or you win. You could work with people that if you like, whatever, you know. But there'll always be that bond. They're always good there.
There's most of the people running are very relatable.
Yeah.
Very relatable people. Put it that way. But you know, here's the thing too. There's 20 people on the ballot. Okay. Quite a number out of those 20 haven't participated in the election at all.
No.
Right?
Even on the website, there was like nothing listed on their names
they
at
just
all.
they've not participated at all.
Yeah.
So let's just remove them off of the thing. Then there's you know, a number of serious contenders, right? There's some out of those serious contenders who don't respond to everything, like the TTC survey, or you know, so they're not answering questions.
TTC, right? You were one of 9, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Out of 20 that didn't do it.
Yeah, and you know, if you're running and you know you have the backing of you know, some people that are already on council or something like that, you're not participating in the outreach groups that form questions the basis,
And they're already part
right?
of the party as well.
Yeah, right. So you know, some people didn't respond to the Scarborough United questions, right?
Yeah.
Some didn't respond to the TTC survey questions. Some people didn't show up to the Port Union community event.
Even the presentation,
Right.
you guys, all your interviews,
Yeah.
I did the video. One of the candidates has never heard of them. I never heard nothing from them. They actually sent me an email. I want a copy. But I already sent them a, there's a list of the emails. All of them. I sent him a copy. Sure, he said, "Can you send me a copy of the presentation?" I said, I didn't know who he was.
Yeah.
Then I thought, "Oh, you're that guy. Okay,
Yeah.
where'd you come from?"
Like-
You know?
Right? Like, so putting your name on the ballot,
Yeah.
right, is $100, and you got to get a collection of signatures,
25 signatures,
right? And so if that's all it is to you,
Mhm.
keep your name off the ballot,
Exactly. Yeah.
right? You're just cluttering up the ballot. So there's you know, the serious people
Mhm.
who go to the events and answer the questions and make themselves available, and then there's people who are serious but they are picking and choosing what
they want
to respond to and things like that.
Well, you
And-
talk to some of the candidates that are
Right.
talking culture-wise. They don't go to some of the events I've heard to the other elections because they culture like their own people, like different nationalities, so they have a good group of people that work. I tell them, you just can't count on your own people getting elected.
No, absolutely
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
Absolutely not.
But
And
so
so
that's if they run their election. I've seen in the past. They go to other community events with their people and all that, but that's it. They won't go any other thing.
No.
It's not gonna. It's a big award. This is a big award. Different nationalities.
it's a huge ward with different nationalities. I grew up in Scarborough with all different nationalities, all different people whose parents came from somewhere else. It was never ever Anglo-Saxon area or strictly
But
this
you
area.
can't supposed to
or
watch. You
strictly-
see the differences.
Yeah, and I felt people move into the ward in all areas, right? So the other day I was fixing all my signs in the area, and I saw somebody that I knew for a long time up at Morningside and Sewell's. And she said, "Brian, is that you?" And I, "Hey, baby, how are you?" I go over, give her a hug. I haven't seen her in, you know, a very long time, but you know,
She saw you
recognized me.
running for-
Yeah. And back when I was in the Highland Creek Remax office, it was back when the city had the advertising program on garbage cans and things like
Yeah.
that. So a younger version of this face
Was on
was
there.
on the you know, on the cans all over the neighborhood, right? West Hill, Highland Creek, wherever. You know, I even had a poster up at Heron Park at that time and in Malvern at that time. So I was quite well known at that time in the real estate circles. And so this is, you know, letting people know as well. I'm still out there for
and
that,
more
but
you know, you've been there in office,
yeah,
like,
yeah. So there's a facial.
Yeah,
I haven't changed that much, I don't think, right? So like, there's a facial recognition factor that's maybe subliminal on a factor
maybe that's
for
why
a lot of
hits
people.
on your video.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You know, so
People email me, they go like, "Who's this guy?" Like seriously, I got a lot of emails from all the videos. First they said the videos were too short. They wanted more one-on-one, and they like the presentation. And then people are asking because they go by the views. I get the internal views; they just view the outside.
Yeah.
So I get more on the inside, and they see like you and Diana. Who are these people and where they come from?
Yeah.
Wow. You know, we want to see more.
Right.
So it's interesting to see that, not just depending on the known candidates, but also the people that, you know, but you run before, so maybe they ask what they're asking.
I didn't go this far before, right?
No.
So, you know, when I took my name off the ballot, then nobody knew that I was running. Okay, I didn't go that far before. But I made the commitment to go the distance this time, and it's been my full-time job since July. I'm doing this.
Not having any real
Nothing else. Nothing else. Just been doing this, campaigning, you know, flyers, meetings, and
do you
signs.
the whole schedule for where you want to go, what ward, and all that? Yeah.
You tend to have a schedule and a plan for it, right? We had really good weather this summer. Not a lot of rain days.
It was hot all
right?
summer. Yeah.
So I had a strategy for when it was raining and when it was not, and things like that. Of course, you'd love to get everything done before the advanced voting takes place, but it was impossible.
You went to that Scarborough University debate. Was it a debate or?
Yeah, the U of T Scarborough night. U of T Scarborough.
Yeah, you sent me the email.
It wasn't a debate.
Where'd that come from?
No, it was.
It was like a last minute thing.
They said they sent an email out to 20 people.
Yeah.
Or everybody who had their contact on the Toronto.ca site, and 6 confirmed, right?
And you had 5 show up?
5 showed up.
Did they videotape it?
Right. I think Daryl Brown's wife videotaped it, right? And I haven't had time to go through any video footage of that or anything like that. 30 students or so showed up, rotating in and out over the course of the night. It started at about 5 o'clock. It was finished around 7:30. But overall, a good experience. They had told us that we had 3 to 5 minutes to do a speech. So I prepared a 4.5 minute speech, and we get there. 2 of the guys didn't like the size of the crowd, so they petitioned the organizers to change the format at the last minute to be shorter. So yeah, I had to ad-lib a 5-minute speech or 4.5 minute speech into a 2-minute speech.
That's not fair.
Right, just like that.
Wow.
On the whim of these 2 other guys, and so that's a little bit of quick thinking
That's
on your
not fair
feet.
for the,
Fine.
but
If you agree to a format, you
do
should
it.
respect the
Don't
format.
do a last minute change.
Right? Based
you're
on you're not happy with the crowd that's
Yeah.
there, right? Just respect the organizers
I wasn't happy
and the
with
format.
I wasn't happy with the whole setup and the whole last minute thing, and it wasn't well. Most of the debates, most elections, they don't usually have these things in the last week of campaign. That's your last week of you guys. Getting out there, getting your word out there.
Yeah.
So that's going to be setting. What you were there from 4:30 to 7.
4:30 to 7, 7:30.
That's a long period, right? Yeah. You had to
So-
set up, and then you had reading after. Like the presentation we had at the Legion and the other one. It was short. It was short time, and you had a lot of exposure. Again, that was nice setup seeing all you guys. Like what? First one was 14. The other one was 15 last time.
Yeah.
One didn't show up, but it was good seeing all the posters and everything up.
Yeah, well, that's a good thing. Like, this board has some really strong community groups, and the people who are very interested, they're very engaged, and they're always very engaged, right? So there's just some very strong community groups in the ward. There's a couple of areas that might need stronger kind of participation at the community level. which if they could get that up and going on a basis with, you know, regular participation and things like that, I think it would help them find a better voice.
Well, the presentation, the long 49 minutes, you
Yeah.
had 3 minutes to go up there, and the amount of response, people are a lot of emails are saying, I couldn't make it to do events. Thanks for putting the presentation. Can I get picked who I want?
Yeah.
And that's great.
Yeah.
That's what the whole thing's about. Doing the videos, just
Yeah.
getting out there.
Yeah, no, you've been a big help in this. I found, you know, because you're out doing interviews, you're out doing, you know, you're at the events, you're doing the interviews, you're posting
One of
the
the ladies
videos.
from one of the teams, she interviewed me. I met her at one of the Kurz interview. So she's with the Scarborough Youth or whatever. She's trying to get things. She interviewed me the other day, and she asked the end of the interview, why are you so interested in the war? I said, because we need more grassroots candidates.
Yeah.
We're tired of the incumbents, you know. Well, they make decisions. Well, they make decisions about things they haven't lived in the. Well, the one 2 years ago, they said we're going to do a fast from Kennedy Station up Ellesmere, and you'll get there in 20 minutes. I said, obviously you don't live in the ward.
Yeah.
You're not living. You're not a grassroots person. You're just making decisions.
Yeah.
So
You're just looking at a line
that's
on
why
a
people
piece
get
of
frustrated.
paper.
They're like they're making decisions with those. You know, we're talking about the questionnaire, the multiplexes.
Yeah.
It's a big no-no.
Right. So like the problem that I have is like legal housing forms are fine, right? But the zoning around them and where they go into neighborhoods and how that fits. Zoning is a great tool if it's used properly by planners and by the city to create fantastic neighborhoods. But when you blanket the zoning across what has been purpose-built single-family residential,
Yeah.
right, and just blanket the entire city that way, you're taking that authority, placing it to developers before the developers even bought the land.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make any sense from a city kind of planning point of view, in my find. Now, like some areas of the ward might handle well a sixplex, some, you know, fourplex, triplex, duplex, right? Some might handle a backyard home okay, but it's not a thing that applies everywhere.
Well, it's a big
in
ward. You don't
every
need that.
neighborhood.
Maybe
Exactly.
smaller wards could use it, but this
Right.
is a large ward. Look at this area right
Yeah.
here. You can
right.
put a building
So
down there, like, you know.
you
keep
have
it
to
low
pick
level.
and choose
Yeah.
where the things fit in the neighborhoods, right?
Yeah.
And another and that brings you on to the commercial side of it, right? Where you knock down the plazas that were built in the 50s or 60s, and you know, condo goes in. When the condos in the city, they're built so you have a podium, right, and then tower coming off the podium, right? That's a planning requirement by the city, right? Because they've required green roofs.
Oh,
Okay, so the podium satisfies the green roof, right? And then they have the pyramid-shaped buildings. Okay, so in a pyramid-shaped building, you lose units because you're building them on an angle,
Oh, yeah.
right? Rather than a
It's kinda like a
rectangle
step?
building. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? And that's to reduce, you know, shadowing and, you know, different things in different areas. But it cuts down how many units actually
Yeah.
go on that building and go on that land, right? So some uses could like some areas, that kind of building may very well fit. There might be different designs to get the same effect of a building like that, but actually get more units. But the base of the condos are all retail leasing, right? At high rates,
Yeah.
where the buildings or the you know, the restaurants and the stores that they took out to
Yeah.
get that building
And-
there can't move back in.
That's why they always put these stores nobody goes to.
Yeah.
Like
Right?
they have like some massage place or some like flower like.
Oh, that's yeah.
Not even shops are like, where do you put the stores there?
Yeah.
And the retail's high.
Right. So you know how I've seen in this ward, say like a young man getting started on his business, right? I think it was hairdressing or, you know, one of these businesses like that. Not intrusive to the neighborhood, not a steady flow of thing, but his own little space, and he does some, you know, TikTok videos at us, stuff like that. That's entirely fine. I have no problem with anything like that. But when the residential dwelling unit becomes monetized in such a way that it's dangerous to the tenants that are there, right? Dangerous and disrespectful to its neighbors, things like that. Ron Butler and a couple of real estate professionals have been talking about this lately, where people monetized a large 2-story home to double the rental, like double the mortgage costs. So a huge profit center for them. And then they just take that to do another one in the same neighborhood and another one, because they still have access to feed the unit, but they're just putting mattresses on a floor and charging $800 a month for, you know, a mattress on the floor, a mattress in the hallway, you know, people sleeping in closets.
Yeah, they discussed it in the last presentation. I remember we talked about it earlier about the you know, these renting to youth students, you know, like you said, a one room for $1,800. Student housing.
So if there's a way, rooming houses in Scarborough were illegal for very, very, like, forever. Always illegal.
And they
in
passed the
Scarborough.
bylaws, but
They changed that.
Right?
They changed that,
That's
right?
Yeah.
So you can apply to the city and have a legal rooming house with 12 units. You have to comply by fire codes. You have to comply by occupancy limits. Each room they can't be mattresses on a floor beside each other. Like, each one needs their own private room, and, you know, a certain amount of kitchens and toilets per people, right? So you have to follow the rules. Nobody has brought their unit into compliance with that, right? And there's multiple reasons and multiple levels of government policies that have fed this, right? As well as, you know, super cheap mortgage rates and just a whole thing. So, but that's also what builds Ponzi, right? And it builds, it can deteriorate neighborhoods, right? People get fed up and they put their house for sale and they move. Right?
Canvassing, you've seen from all the area that's a rooming house right there.
Huge problems.
7 cars in one. 8 cars there.
So
right?
legal forms of housing, if done properly and enforced properly, and nobody is scamming the system, works fine, and I'm in favor of it. Right? Does it work fine in every corner? No.
I've heard people complaining that there's no enforcement. They're not actually compliant. The rules are there.
There's no bylaw enforcement.
Yeah.
And the bylaw enforcement really requires on the neighbors telling on the other neighbors and doing the investigation for the bylaws.
Yeah. And that's
right.
Not,
So, and that's not their job, and that creates fights between neighbors, and, you know, bad blood, and can lead to sometimes serious consequences, right? You know, the last thing you want is like 2 neighbors battling it out, right? But that does happen. That does happen. It can happen if the rules are that the way that they are now. So, you know, fresh voices at City Hall are required to bring these things up to the sitting councillors that have been there for life or for a very long time.
I see that. These are everyday situations of this we're talking about.
Yeah.
It seems that's all ignored. The basic stuff of every ward is ignored, not just this ward. And the more important stuff like signs and outdoor washrooms and all that seems to be more important than, you know, it has nothing to do with the ward.
If a councillor has been there for 20 years and they have, you know, certain interests in their ward, donating to their campaign all the time, and they rely on it so much that those people always have their ear.
They get the
right?
priority.
Right.
True.
You know, but if you haven't done anything for your ward in 20 years, it hasn't materially improved.
Yeah.
Yet, you know, not
Even-
fixing what needs to be
even like
fixed.
8 years, like 4 years,
You know,
right?
then it's time to move on.
It's true. That's why I
Right?
always believe in the. You probably got that survey about the what do you call it? Rabbit, the ranked ballot.
The rank ballot, I got their survey.
They haven't posted it yet.
No, I didn't respond to their survey. In theory, I would like to see ranked ballots.
Yeah.
Doug Ford gave. Here's another thing with Doug Ford. So Doug Ford gave the municipalities the right to bring it in if they wanted to, and then when he rearranged the wards, he took that right away. Right?
Yeah.
So like the speed cameras, he wrote the legislation
Oh, yeah.
to bring them in.
Yeah.
And now he
Yeah,
wants to
they
take them
out,
away.
just like the bike lanes.
Right? The bike lanes. Now he wants to take them away.
Yeah.
Right? And this is that's leads perfectly to the cycle of transit in Scarborough, where somebody promises something,
Yeah.
right? On the last days of their whatever, and then the new guy comes in, wipes all those plans clean,
Yep.
right? Or something gets built, but it only gets half built.
Well, look at
Like the Scarborough RT.
It had a shelf life also, and then it just fell apart.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just neglect right there, and that's
Right.
back to the city council, like you said.
Yeah.
How to
Right,
engage
so-
with the community.
David Miller had a fully funded transit plan laid out,
Yeah, I saw that.
right,
Yep.
with Kathleen Wynne,
Yep.
and it was funded.
By the government.
Get ready
Yeah.
to
Yeah, I remember that.
funded, built.
They're all excited.
Everybody is excited.
Yeah.
Right. He didn't run for election. He left it to Giambroni,
Yeah.
right, to push his plans forward.
Oh, the TTC guy.
Right. Yeah.
And he also ran too as well.
Yeah. And Rob Ford beat him.
Yeah.
And then he comes in. Rob Ford comes in. No transit for Scarborough.
Yeah.
We're going to build a subway,
Yeah.
right? The RT was supposed to come into Malvern in the 80s.
Yeah.
That was the original plan,
Yep.
right? Is to bring it across Progress to hit Centennial College
Yep.
and then into Malvern, right? But we only built to what we can afford to the Scarborough Town Center. Then they just lost interest in it and let it fall
Look
apart.
at now what they're building, 3 stops in the whole Scarborough.
3 stops.
I was telling
Right.
in another interview, I said, take the length of the 3 stops compared to downtown, you'll have like 10 stops.
And it's the wrong place to put it, right? So it's out of the ward, but McCowan, what fronts on McCowan, right, south of Ellesmere, are backyards.
Yeah.
So people will have a subway running under their
I
backyard.
just drove through not too long ago, construction going on in
Right.
the suburbs.
Yeah.
I said, what is this? That was
Right.
a subway.
Where a street like Markham,
Yeah.
right? A street like Markham, you would serve more Scarborough with a subway, taking it from Kennedy across Eglinton and going up Markham,
Yeah.
because Markham is fronted with
That's
plazas
right, yeah.
that could be
And it's more
redeveloped,
industrial out there as well.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it could have a greater use, but no, they wanted it to go to wherever they wanted it, and I'm not going to vote against anything got
I'm
to do
hoping
with
they're going
that.
to connect the Fairview
Slow
to
it down.
to bring it all the way through.
Shepherd Avenue
Yeah,
East,
they
I would
should.
love Shepherd Avenue
Yeah.
East, right? Doug Ford has the fantasy of the tunnel under the
All under
401,
the highway?
right? Which is ridiculous,
Yeah.
right? It's ridiculous, and he wants to plow ahead. And win or lose, I'd love City Council to get on their megaphone and tell them to put those plans aside and don't spend another penny on
That's
them,
right.
and instead Shepherd Avenue East.
Yeah,
Build
just
it,
did Yeah.
right? Build it, but build it past Morningside. Build it to at least Meadowvale,
Yeah, and
right?
connect it.
I would love to see it go Meadowvale, Port Union,
Yeah,
Shepherd,
Port Union,
right?
yeah.
Kingston Road intersection, and eventually, Rouge Go.
Yeah.
Like if you could hop on the Rouge Go in Oshawa, get
on there.
on the Go in Oshawa, get off at Rouge, get on a subway, and go west
Yeah.
into the city across the top.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Right? It would serve a lot of people. And east-west transit, mass transit, like subways, are what's needed in Scarborough, but also Toronto, right? the whole. We need rapid east-west. Not all lines can go downtown all the time. People travel other places, right? So many people in this neighborhood would hop in their car and work in Brampton.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you need a fresh perspective at City Hall.
That's what I mean.
Right? You need a fresh perspective at City Hall. One that's independent enough to not toe a party line or, want to be part of the club or, like you have to get along with the other councillors in order to forward your agenda. That's not what I'm saying. But if you're the voice of reason at a meeting and say, guys, you've been in a bubble for 20 years. Here's what's happening on the streets now.
I think there needs to be unity of all the councils,
right?
On the councils in Scarborough. All 6 councils right now. There has to be unity. You go to
you have Scarborough Council.
You all do it together, not just individually. Right?
You go to Scarborough Council for the most local.
Yeah.
Right? And then the broad City Hall.
Yeah.
Right? Decisions of it, Toronto City Hall.
Yeah,
right?
That's the thing.
And then you got to battle, like, is the mayor's agenda, going to help your area? And then, what do you need to get on board with the mayor's agenda in order she doesn't ignore your area or he doesn't ignore your area? Like that sort of thing.
More logical decisions.
Like there is politics down there.
What makes me laugh here the other day was Midland. I've been on Midland a while. Where does bus lane come from? It's not
Kennedy.
a major. It's not a major area.
There's
Kennedy,
a
sure,
red bus
not
lane
Midland.
down Kennedy.
Yeah, but Midland, Midland's a suburb area. Very
like now, like you're talking about Morningside, right? People are talking about Morningside, and relatively speaking, it's a very short stretch of Morningside, right? That has a red bus lane. In a fantasy world, extending the bridge and making it 2 lanes cars and 1 lane bus would be.
Some of the
but
to the left turn like Brimley now. On Ellsbury, you can't turn left on Brimley where it's a bus.
But if they're making a red bus lane on Kennedy and turning Kennedy into 1 car lane,
it is. Yeah, it is ridiculous.
Right?
Yeah.
Which they have done.
Well, what I do is a lot of people now they take the side roads from the neighborhood.
Of course.
I know the way, so I know I go the other way, right?
You take the side roads.
It's back from Ellsbury all the way almost to Lawrence. Rush hour, like on the side road.
Yeah.
And more cars are going, and that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're now disturbing the neighborhood.
And then Birch. And then more spillover on Birchmount, more spillover on streets that don't connect with the 401. But then you can scoot over at the last minute and connect.
Yeah, like you can get off
like Midland. You can go up Midland.
You can get off Brimley off the highway, right?
Yeah.
But you can't get on it.
Yeah.
Right. And even Birchmount, you can't get on it.
Yeah, you can't get on or off it.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Right. So, but like crazy. Like some decisions are just crazy.
No.
Right. Like when they were rolling out bike lanes, they were more focused on how many kilometers of bike lanes they could put on the road rather than if they worked into an area, right? And
well, you know about the junction, right? Misha, have you met Misha?
Misha.
He's promoting the extension of the junction. It's all about pathways.
Yeah, I know the junction
well. So how to connect all these pathways, and trails,
rail line,
and all that. Yeah, they showed the old rail line and all that one. Yeah, he's been working on it for 17 years, 18 years now.
Yeah,
he's been trying to get to City Hall. Each council's promise will look at it, and that's what it gets done. 18 years been trying that. It's crazy.
Yeah. Ron Moser was working on the waterfront for 30 years or whatever.
Yeah.
Right. And that's another example, like where they fumble the ball. Right. It's good to have the park protected, right? Especially with various, the provincial government wanting to sell off slices of provincial parks. So that staves off, and it's a good system. But the federal government needs to pay the city in order for the city to do the E. coli testing, provide lifeguards, pick up garbage, all that stuff.
See, everyday things, right? We're talking about everyday stuff going on that's ignored.
Everyday stuff, right? That gets ignored. Right?
They focus on the bigger things, but the little things they ignore, and that's affects the whole neighborhood.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
And you did quite a bit of volunteer work too, right?
Try.
Yeah. You're good. Yeah.
When you can.
What do you think about the student? You think about the student housing we talked about earlier, right? What would you do about that if you're a counselor?
The what?
Student housing? I mean, it's just, the price is just ridiculous. You know, real estate guy yourself, no?
Yeah, student housing. For one, it needs to be basements and things like that need to be. They can't be substandard housing.
Yeah.
They don't need to be luxury, but they don't need to be substandard, dangerous places to live.
I've seen some of the pictures,
right?
like some of the guys I talked to, they got a bed and they got a desk.
Yeah.
And they're paying like $800 for a room.
I walked
It's
into
crazy.
a condo at Ellesmere and Markham, a new one, right on the south side, those tall buildings, and under 500 square feet, one bedroom apartment, had 4 mattresses in the living room and another 4 mattresses in the one bedroom.
Yeah, that's illegal.
Right? That's illegal.
Yeah,
right? That's not providing student housing.
No,
That's a
not safe.
that's a fraud Ponzi scheme
yeah,
for
it's
the
happening
landlord.
everywhere, and that's
right?
why the resentment
And the condo building should be holding its occupancy laws and not allowing
it. Back to these landlords, you feel,
right?
Yeah.
But so student housing, you know, the universities also have to provide student housing.
Yeah.
Right? And U of T Scarborough is getting a bit better at that. Centennial College Progress has built some new stuff. But
Do you know? Sorry to interrupt you. Do you know? Say you get a house, you register, you want students. Is there a system where the university comes and inspects the unit of the house before they allow the students? Is there a system?
not with a private landlord.
No. Because if you're going to register your house, yeah, I'm on students league. I'm on 5 rooms. They're going to occupy. Okay. Should the university come down and say, listen, you know, for health reasons or safety?
So now
that's come down to private. I know it's a private
Yeah.
thing, but I think it should be something in that effect, right? You know, like you're renting a unit.
The landlord-tenant system in Ontario is complete chaos.
I say
And
dissolve the TVS.
It's complete chaos.
It is. It's
Landlords need
that's
a
always
licensing system, which gives them education, and tenants need education, right? And there needs to be a balance between the landlord's rights and the tenant's rights. Like when landlords and tenants get along, it works out fantastic, right? But you put a bad landlord or a bad tenant,
Yeah, I'm a victim
right?
of that myself.
Yeah.
I've seen it myself
Yeah.
firsthand. I can know.
right? Then the system gets played out, right? Good people, you know, they lose. Like people have been out $30,000-$40,000 on because their tenant hasn't paid rent in so many years, things like that, and then the tenant eventually leaves. And you almost have to rebuild the interior of the house because it's highly damaged.
The apartment I lived in on my floor in 5 years, people just vacated.
Yeah.
And 3 of them just destroyed the whole apartment.
Yeah.
I mean, they took an axe and just destroyed everything.
They'll do it.
Right?
Yeah.
And that was it.
I've seen it with
they
my
found
own.
it.
Yeah.
They took the corporate still, right?
Right. So there needs the landlord-tenant board needs to be overhauled. I actually think Toronto would be better served with its own system. Right, different from the provincial system, right? But I think also maybe landlords should be licensed,
Yeah, that's the big thing.
right? And then more
All landlords,
tenant.
they should all be licensed. Property managers should be taking a course. They should register it. You should pay every year. Like, I think they did that at Brandon.
There are property management courses and things like that, right? Because then you're operating it as a business and
And even
you
like
need
superintendents,
licenses.
like in our building, we went through 20 years. We went through like 8 or 9 superintendents.
Yeah.
One guy knew how to do the job, the other one didn't know how to do the job.
Yeah.
He knew about plumbing and all this. They hired these
Yeah.
people, their buddies and all. They're not even trained. They're not even qualified.
Yeah, that's happened.
You hired some guy's not even an electrician. He's like trying to fix a wire. Then he got a fire hazard.
Yeah.
It comes back to the landlord.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should. After the Scarborough thing, I think the university's going to have it's all listed. I think they did that in. I was taking my course in. Where's the in Sheridan up in Oakville, outside of Oakville. They had a system where you register your house or your condo or whatever, and they actually had inspectors back then. This is years ago.
Yeah, if it's directly affiliated with the university or college, there may be something like
should
that,
do that,
because then the landlord's advertising on campus to those
Well, that's
students.
right. Yeah, they're registering.
Right.
They're advertising.
But if they're just have the house across the street and they're private landlord with a sign on their lawn
Yeah.
for rent,
Yeah.
room for rent, right? You know, but yeah. So, you know, the students need housing. You know, right now in the news too, you're hearing in Windsor, not to get off topic and too far out of the ward, but I've talked to people in the ward with this situation too. So, 80, 90 years old, living in a long-term care seniors place. They've flipped the designation into a rental. The rent is jacked up 20-30%. Because they want to sell the building, so they need better rents to give the building more value. And the province really needs to come in and put an end to that situation.
There's no control, right?
No, they have fixed income, right? And yeah, their rent may be way under market value, but they're not at a place where they can easily move.
No.
Right? They're integrated in the neighborhood, they have their supports, their churches,
I just talked
their
to two female
community
students,
centers,
and they rented 2 rooms, and because the landlord had problems with the last tenant, he destroyed a whole bunch of stuff. So now the landlord wants the other 2 students to pick up the slack. I'm going for what, another $500 extra? And they said no. So now they're fighting it. And there's no law, there's no control. They can do what they want, right?
They can try. And this is where tenants need to know their rights, right? And the system needs to work faster. Like it needs an overhaul.
It does.
It needs to work.
It also needs to be
faster.
investigated. There's a lot of, I heard through the grapevine, a lot of collusion and bribery going on in the system.
Huge amounts of fraud. Huge amounts of fraud and bribery. You know, there's ads. There's ads people have put on. I've seen them on like social media where people are trying to get sexual services in exchange for rent.
That's been
From
going
the
on for a while.
students.
Oh yeah.
Which
that's another thing, right?
It's nuts.
It's not nothing monitored.
Right. So there's one vote on council can't change the
I'll tell you something
world.
right now. I talked to 2 Indian guys, students, good-looking guys, muscle guys, working out, and they told me off camera, they said they can't tell who their landlord is, but they what you just said. I'm going to bring this up. That's happening. They're from India. They're students, and the landlord says, you want to keep your rent down. I have some men. And this is a tough subject to talk about. It's happening up there. It's
happening.
It's the reality of our war. It's going not just it's going everywhere.
It's happening.
And it's happening.
Right?
They don't discuss it down in the city. I brought up many times when I go down there. I talk, make phone calls.
No, because then and like take ethnicity and all this stuff out of it, right? If you look at it from a human level, right? There's the exploitation of a vulnerable younger person who it doesn't. I don't care about ethnicity or anything like that, right? There's people out there who will take advantage. And there needs to be enforcement. There needs to be services for the victims of this. There needs to be a whole bunch of layers of things. But if you can't acknowledge that the problem is there in the first place, you can't even try to fix it.
Well, even some of these landlords I've talked to through the elections, and they got tenants there, they're having problems, they're going to evict them and all that. And their lawyer, their own personal lawyers, and they're well known. They come to they make the personal calls to the immigrants. They get I need normal rules, and this is you pay this, we'll keep you there. This is what's going on, right? These landlords and their own lawyers, this is like mainstream big time, and this is what's happening. Bribery, collusion, threatening immigrants that they're too afraid to speak up. Or something happened to them. And this is persistent. Like I said, the tenant, it's going to be dissolved. It has to be redone. When they brought in to protect the tenants, but no. I saw a case there, our case online, and the guy before us had schizophrenia. He missed his medication deadline. Didn't get in time. So he missed his rent for 1 week. And the landlord says, sorry, you're going to be evicted. No if and and he had been there 15 years in the basement. He got evicted, just like that. All because of his medication. No leeway. And the guy that, what do you call the adjutant? I call him the babies because they're not even trained, they're not even qualified, they're not even lawyers at
Yeah.
all. First of all, the guy says, "Sorry, you gotta go." Just like that. One young guy decides this guy's fate. He's been around for 50 years.
Yeah.
And that happens. This is what the system is broken.
Yeah.
And
It's, it's
all modern. This is it. The lack of city involvement.
Yeah.
But you're going to force the bylaws, well, about the landlords, and the tenant housing and student housing. Why don't you implement it? You know, not enough personnel. Well, hire some more people. You know,
find the worst offenders.
Yeah.
Right.
You can't just rely
Focus
on
on the
people
resources
complaining about
like
your neighbors,
that.
like
Yeah.
you said.
Right. Find the worst offenders. Give them a period to come into compliance with the bylaw, and if they refuse,
Yeah.
take
And I
it
think
to
you
the
should make
next
it
level.
public. They should be
Take it to the
publicized.
next level.
If they're getting convicted or whatever,
Yeah.
you got to set a precedent. So and so got convicted. This. These are the charges. Take a note, people. This is
Yeah.
happening. We're coming down to you.
There's ways to deal with things that they can't, if they can't ignore the problem. If somebody tells them that there's a problem, right, guaranteed there's hundreds of other people who are experiencing the
Yeah.
problem, and if they continue to look the other way, it just leads for more problems to come up, because then it becomes a profit center for people, and
Well, yeah, 'cause what if I'm saying I'm going to use you as a student for sex.
yeah.
Oh, I'm making a profit. Then I tell the other guy, that's what I'm doing with my students. Hey, let's carry on. You do the
But-
same thing. And this is what's going on, right?
I met a guy on Lawson today, and he's a young guy with a construction business, right? And he brings his material to the dump. It costs him money, right? Then he goes into the parks or a dead end street or wherever and sees illegal dumping everywhere,
Yeah.
right? So his competitors were able to undercut him because they don't have the expense of taking the garbage to the transfer station
Yeah.
and to pay, right?
Yeah.
Like, this mentality needs
That's what I mean.
to get out,
Yeah.
right? You need to,
He was funny when you drive around churches and all the things. Every argument has a lock in it now. And they have cameras there. That's how bad it is.
yeah. But there's no consequences still,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, there's no consequences, right? So, one thing at a time, one problem at a time. That's the thing. There's only 13 months between this vote and the next vote.
We've got
right?
quite a bit of seniors in our ward, this ward.
Quite a bit of
So
seniors.
what's your stance on helping seniors improve their we talked about Wheel-Trans and all that.
Different. They can have different requirements, right?
Do you think there should be more programs for seniors, more outreach there, like more social things going on? Because the ward's so big, right?
Yeah. So each one can have their own local community
Yeah.
and their local center, right? I met some at I was invited to a Malvern dinner last week or week before, and seniors showed up, and some wanted a crosswalk in between lights in Malvern, because the distance between the lights is too great.
Yeah.
But the bus stop is in the middle, but there's no way for them to cross the other side of the street.
Yeah.
Right? There's ones need that, right? Then there's the ones where the rent is getting jacked up so much in comparison to escalating food costs and these other things, and their income is fixed, right? They have to make do with what they have. So, it should have supports in some way for that. It's just how to do it. How to do, so very, you hate to say this one group needs one thing and then all the problems are fixed,
Yeah.
right? Like, you can build community engagement, right? Local to where they are, right? And, encourage charities, encourage you know, things like this.
A lot of these seniors have
taking you know,
I've seen some of the help
food
kitchens.
banks, for example.
A lot of seniors
right?
have help kitchens. They have a lot of people that are experienced cooks, volunteers. I've talked to many of them. They said, I don't want to stay at home doing nothing. I'd rather just do something for somebody.
Yeah.
There's
There's people,
and the thing is, sometimes they can't afford the transport, fixed income, getting to the destination. Like, you know, let's say I'm in my house, I want to go help in the soup kitchen or help or a food bank, but I don't have the money to get there. But I'd love to help.
Yeah.
You know, and they got the experience. They got all the background. Like
Right.
skilled trades. A lot of these guys are all retired. There's nobody to train these guys now. The new guys coming in.
So, the there's you didn't have to hear from them to see what they would need, right? And
Then you
what
mentioned
support.
seniors are not here.
Right.
Youth are ignored. Seniors are ignored. Not just this ward, but many wards I've talked to. And they hear it all the time. They like complain when I do my canvassing from seniors is nobody wants your voice.
Well, the loudest always gets the grease, right?
But these are the seniors that help grow this ward.
Yeah.
All established, all neighborhoods, all boards.
Yeah.
I always wanted to work on a book, you know, the immigrants that came to Canada, in Toronto, and built little communities by the building stores, the Jewish, Asian, Portuguese area, all those areas built by the stores that grew up there.
Yeah.
And these people grew up coming in the country and live in that area, you know, one city.
Yeah.
You know, they should be. I always thought they should get. It's my thing. They should get compensated for helping grow Toronto. Saying thank you for helping grow the city of Toronto. You know, now that conglomerate business taken over and the little guy's store shut down. For example, there was a store on Domino's in Lawrence before they renovated. It was a hat store. Have you heard of it? Been there for years. Homemade hats. This guy was here. You know, he's well known.
Okay.
And you go in there and you shake your head. All the old equipment.
Yeah.
But you know, big company took over and he was taken out. Right? He's been there for 35, 40 years. He was well known.
Yeah.
But he helped grow that community down there.
Yeah.
That Lawrence. Cause I talked to a lot of neighbors like Canada. Oh yeah, the little hat man's gone. Oh, the hat man's gone. He moved down here because he's from this different ethnic background on. Yeah. So I always thought the city should compensate these people that help grow the city.
Well,
But the new generation don't want to care on the businesses like some on like some of the Jewish areas, like some old meat stores, delis. They're all gone. They've been there for 40, 50 years. You see the old pictures. And you see like way back that pictures on the walls. You can walk in. It's such a shame they're all gone. You don't see the history.
It's
you know?
it's changed. It's changed a lot, right? The Murdish brothers.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah. See what happened there.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, honestly, that was a.
Yeah. But
that was a.
You know.
Should have been an heritage like this guy thing.
now it is what it is, right? You know, and a piece of Toronto history is wiped clean again.
Yeah. Remember the Rules Briggs bookstore? That's gone too.
That's gone.
That was the first icon.
Right.
That was the first one of its kind.
First one of its kind. So a lot of things that we grew up knowing and liking about the city has
because
been
we're all
changed.
comfortable with that. When you take the comfort and the contentment away, it hurts.
But
it affects the personality.
There's been a corporatization too, right? Now, like when I said this to you probably in the last video, when Starbucks first wanted its footprint in Toronto, it took up every corner in the city, and then in between every corner in the city, right? And now they're dialing back. They're cutting stores, right? 900 stores. They're cutting employees. They're cutting, a whole back. So that's the thing. They go in, wipe out all the locals, right? Jack up the rent, right? And then at a time they'll dial back, right? And the rent will stay high, right? So that you need proper zoning, again, proper zoning to ensure that
but even the
entrepreneurs can have spaces.
That zoning law. It's so ambiguous, I guess. It's law. I'll give you an example. The Victoria Park and Pharmacy on Lawrence. There's no link between. There's only one link Victoria Park and Pharmacy.
Yeah.
So that was the old zoning laws. It's a church, a Catholic church,
Precious Blood.
So all these other buildings have grown up.
Yeah.
And there was about 4 or 5 deaths occurred. And so they took a petition. They signed. I saw it. Thompson was involved, and they got the lake.
They got the lake.
But they had to rezone because they had the old law. This is the zoning area. You don't need a light. Well, you do. People are crossing the street to go to church. Now they have a light there at the church. Finally.
That when I'm growing up, that was my home church.
That's just one example like that. There's no link between Victoria Park and Pharmacy. There's nothing.
Growing up, that was my home church.
Precious Blood?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it used to right? Many times
Yeah,
we
you- so
walk
yeah.
from the house,
Yeah.
right,
People
up
don't
to
like-
church.
Seniors don't want to
but
walk all the way
we-
around.
No,
they don't.
no.
Even
So
on like going from Victoria Park, from Eglinton going south, and the next word is Surrey, I think, or Sunset. But there's like the little hub there. It's down a hill, but there's all these homes or buildings that the seniors. I see many times they're crossing over. They're walking because there's no light. They don't want to go down to the hill. They have the light come back up down and square, right? And that's another example.
if
There's actually a
coun-
sign that says there's a sign that says "Beware of seniors" with a little silhouette. I thought I called City Hall about that.
Yeah.
Who put that sign there?
deer in
It's-
headlights sign.
Yeah, it was the
Yeah.
yellow. I know you're gonna see it. It's hilarious, right?
The- But if you have a counselor who's focused on those types of at the street
Yeah.
local issues, bringing them forward,
Would you like
You
to have
could
more
end up-
townhouses or something?
Pardon me?
More townhouses if you got elected? Like, there's a far few in between townhouses. The new party Canada took over, he got elected in. But I complained to Pete that there should be more townhouses. Not just once.
oh, town halls.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I would.
Like you can pick a subject. Student housing.
No, yeah,
You know,
you
and have
can.
a town
you can
about that,
so,
right?
This area had this ward has several distinct areas.
Yeah.
Right. Now the ones further south down here, the town halls would work very well because the community associations would be very involved.
Yeah.
Right, and it would be good to get those people out. Right, so you could do one in the Highland Creek area. You could do one Port Union Community Center. You know, you could do one in a different location down there. Right, and serve it out.
Well, look at your
Up here.
Look at your example,
Up
your
here.
presentation.
Yeah.
The one we did at the Legion.
Yeah.
A lot of seniors there, right?
Yeah.
And they didn't expect such a big crowd.
Yeah.
And
So
that's great.
up here, you know, you put the notice out. I'll be here on this Saturday between this and this and this. Coffee, refreshments, that sort of thing. Come to talk, right? And you give them
Yeah.
the microphone,
That's right,
right?
yeah.
And let them tell you what you want. You video record it, write down everything, right?
Mhm.
And that's them telling you,
Yeah.
right, of what it is. So it's not presuming that you know everything, right? It's, you know,
I always tell the City Hall when they do these presentations, when they have like the bike lanes on Kingston, I videotape 3 or 4 of them. And I tell them all the time, they ask my parents, the problem, you guys talk too much. People can read all this stuff online. You have to go through the whole itinerary. Everything. You got the video there showing,
Yeah.
like the Ontario place. Oh, people read that. They don't have to go through the whole thing.
Yeah.
They can read it online. Just let more people talk.
Yeah.
Get the mic up there.
Yeah.
There's more time we should talk and explain everything that's going to happen in the war. But we already know that's where they're there.
yeah.
Let them more microphone time, right?
Yeah.
And that's what, like
You
Ontario
know, what
Place
are the
Law.
grievances? You know, like,
Yeah.
there wasn't even, so at Lawrence and Centennial, I was putting out my signs about 3 weeks ago. There was a blind woman wanting to cross the street, and she had the green. And I was right there. I said, you know, do you want to cross the street? And I helped her cross the street on the green. But then I realized that there's no audible chirp, right? That comes
Oh,
out
yeah,
of the
that's
signs,
right, yeah.
right? There's no, right? So that now I'm noticing a lot.
So as when you run,
Yeah,
it's
like
funny,
now I'm at street lights. I'm looking, and I don't hear it, and I'm
Well, that's
looking.
good. As a councillor
you know,
to be, it's in your mind,
Right.
right? To think like that.
Right.
And if you get elected, you go to City Hall and go, I remember the chirping. There's no
Right.
chirping.
Right. So then you bring forward the Scarborough Council to, you know, at the, you know, the lights. You need the audible signals, which, you know, are required here,
Yeah.
here, wherever, and
And think with all
you
you
get
can,
them in.
all you can is all lived experiences living in the ward, mostly.
Yeah.
Living it actually in the ward,
Right.
not parish.
So-
But I'm just saying, the lived experience is what needs in City Hall. Get that voice out there in City Hall, not just making decisions on, it looks like that, on a survey or on paper. You can read, well,
Yeah.
with the old bike lanes and all.
And so living in the ward and having connections in the ward is important, and but at the same time, because you buy $1 million house and you signed up to all the right clubs, doesn't entitle you to the position either
But for council, yeah.
for counselor,
No.
right? And so I know each area of the ward, right? And I've helped people in each area of the ward. I can talk to each people in each area of the ward. That's not a problem, right? You can't be a bubble bringing all the benefits to your local corner, right? Because you've promised them whatever, right? You know, a lot of the power base in this ward for a long time has been held down further to the south, right? Ron Moser, he was there for a very long time, 30 years I think, right? And then Jennifer McKelvey after that, which was in for a fairly reasonable number of years, right? And the way Doug Ford has changed the ward boundaries has shifted. You'll see a shift this election in a bit of a power base, right? And I don't see myself as being a candidate that would favor one area over another. Like I know each of the areas and the people in each of the areas, so I'm more.
Yeah, that's what people need. Right?
That's what people need.
Like you said,
but it's a matter of realizing it. It's a matter of them realizing that, right? You know.
Even back to the vote, like every election, they have a sheet. I don't know if you've seen it, or a graph for all the most votes are in the city for elections, and people constantly. When I canvass, I went to Jamie Finch, Keel, all the the areas they don't want to go to Parliament. They go, nobody comes in there anymore. They don't want their vote, so they don't bother, right?
Yeah. No, exactly. If you're there asking for the vote, people are saying, I need this, that, blah, 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 to make my community better, and then you don't bring anything, right? They get disenfranchised, right? Then they stop voting.
Yeah, we got to talk about
right?
How many people? 3 million people in Toronto?
Yeah.
And we got
right.
20% turnout.
People are so, so this election too, you have, we just had a provincial election, a federal election, now we have this election. People are electioned out, right?
The advanced polls, what was the turnout?
4,736, I think.
Yeah, is that good?
So, elections, Toronto seems to think it's pretty good, right? Considering it's a by-election, those numbers are fantastic.
When the incumbents got re-elected as council members, they're all jumping up and down. I respect them all. I was saying, you're proud of a 29% turnout for a vote, and you're all happy. I'd be ashamed of that. So, that means why is that such a low turnout? There's nothing to be very proud if you got a low turnout like that.
I think there's 89,000 registered voters in the ward, right? So 5% of them advance voted?
That's less than 5%. 89%?
Right? 10% is 8,900, right? So, 4,700, right? So,
5%.
Somewhere around 5% voted in advance.
That's like good.
That may be good. I don't know.
Maybe maybe
right? If the other 5% show up and there's only 8,900 people voting, then we're going to have problems.
You're knocking on doors.
Everybody's
still, less than 5% turnout for the advance.
So what's a normal election turnout? 12%?
For a count ward? Less than 20.
Less than 20%?
Yeah. For the overall election, 29% overall for mayor.
Right, so 90,000, 18,000 they're expecting.
I get excited when
there's been 18,000 in a regular election when there's a mayor, right? And turnout, and for a by-election, what, 9,000?
This is the first time they've had many 20 candidates in this first time or something?
First time?
Yeah. So that's the first time. They're looking at it in a good way.
There was one time before Ron Moser had I think 12 other opponents or something like that.
Yeah. So in this, you look at it in a way. You have people are why you got 20 candidates? Well, you got 20 people interested in the ward. Yeah. Take that 12, the ones that live in the ward.
But you don't have 20 people interested in the ward.
No, but you got
because not everybody's participating.
Yeah. That's the thing of the voters. City voters don't know that. We didn't have any debates. The last debate we had in Ward 20, one of them I taped it. You'll see it. The question was asked, who's in the ward? And we knew for a fact there were 3 people that were in the ward. And the only one person said was a lady named Jessica Hines, running for new council, and she actually got congratulated. Like, people came up to her and she talked to me. She said, people are going to vote for me because I was honest.
Yeah.
Right? And people knew the other two that didn't win them. Didn't win the war, but they put the little paddle up. She did. She was honest about it.
Yeah.
But she used to live in the war.
Yeah.
Years ago. That's why she's running.
Yeah.
And she got a lot of compliments. She actually she got pretty good in her first time for election.
It's an important question, but it's not the only important question.
No. But
right?
voters are confused, like who lives in the ward, actually live in the ward, who's a parachute person, and and they don't know because there's no display about that.
Yeah,
there's
I think that
there's no list. You can't you're not gonna put down a list unless you got a bias conglomerate saying I'm gonna put this and this, these groups.
If you look into each candidate and their name and what they've done and where they are and things like that, I think it's pretty obvious who would be a favorite of this faction.
You just said you're recognized.
Yeah, but I haven't run before.
No, but
right.
But
so
you ran for a time period, right?
Yeah, so I can't be a parachute candidate if I'm not affiliated with a group.
But like the fact that you got more video views on the one I did, than anybody else. Yeah. That's kind of surprising a lot of people. That's why I get all emails asking, "Who's this guy?" So, and I didn't know you ran before, so now I can answer.
So you have the different factions, right? You have the different factions on City Hall and the different special interest groups that are backing whoever they're backing, right? And so like you can pretty much point that out if you pay enough attention. In terms of parachute candidates and things like that, one of those guys would be the parachute candidate, right? Not the independent who doesn't have any of those connections, right? He came up out of nowhere, but people still know me because they recognize me because they, I'm familiar to them.
Do you want to talk about the write-up?
No.
No? We'll avoid that? Okay. We'll avoid that. Yeah.
Because I don't, yeah, okay, let's,
I'll break it this way. I'll probably get dinged for this. Blog TO,
Yeah.
So they read through all the mayor candidates the first time when my name was in it. So one of my platforms, first two was rank reduction and landlord accountability.
Yeah.
So at the end of my write-up, he put down, well, this is a provincial thing, basically, what's it going to get done? Well, it doesn't matter if you're provincial. If you're mayor or council, you can get involved, MPP, you know what I mean? So there's other write-ups from another guy, one comment, one of the other candidates, well, he lives in Thornhill, what's he concerned about poverty? It's kind of a sarcastic way of answering, like it's not, it was kind of a bias and a sarcastic when people read it.
Yeah.
It's not like the other ones are more neutral, they just give the facts and that's it.
That's one thing I'm finding out about media, whether they be local, not local, blog-based media, let's call it, right? Legacy media, right? And then, student independent radio, right? So each of them have their own little agenda before they even ask a question. Some formulate a theory based on what they find online and don't even ask a question, right? Yeah. And some ask questions, but then feed the answers to
the other
their contact who's an opposing candidate, right? And you don't know who is who until the thing comes out, right? So that article is actually feeding to my website, right? I'm getting views from that article to my website.
What's the response been?
Where I think 10 people, right? But then they show my rebuttal to that article on that page, right? So I can if people talk to me for 5 or 10 minutes, they can see that I'm a fair-minded person I care deeply about the things that I care about, including the ward and all sections of the ward, that I'm not using it as a political springboard into something else, and that it's genuine, right? It's not. I've never been to a seminar on how to speak politically to people, right? This is all just casually me.
That's what I like the presentation.
Right.
You do all the interviews.
And I think
all the,
it's connecting with people.
Each one of you did it really well on stage. And,
Yeah.
you know, people. I get nervous when I used to go on stage,
Yeah.
but I don't show it. I'm all, but you guys did good. All of you did good. I was so impressed.
So I think that is connecting well with people.
Yeah.
I think I got a good shot.
Yeah, I think so. You know, you can't even predict who's going to get it.
There's no polling.
There's no poll. Well,
So-
polls are biased, right?
No, like,
when they go, like,
yeah,
based on,
but there's
we
no-
pulled 1,000 people out of the ward of 89,000. So this
Right.
is the winner.
But you can tell, like,
yeah.
so when Outlet does a story on something that happening during the election, right? And they only contact 3 people out of 20, let's say 15 serious, right? Not, let's say out of, anyway.
10?
Out of the 20,
Yeah.
out of the 20, how many of us has signs? Probably 10 or 15, maybe
Yeah.
12. Let's call it 12. Have signs. And the media does the story on signs, right?
Oh yeah.
I've had issues with my signs. They've been stolen,
Yeah.
right? You know, I check them regularly. But I haven't gone to the media with that.
We talked about
Right.
it before, off camera, before they had a bylaw officers came and removed all these signs.
The bylaw officers, I watched them take all the
Oh, you saw
signs.
them do it,
Yeah, I
yeah?
saw them do it. I talked to them after they
the,
did it
advanced polling.
at the advanced polling in on 30 Sewells.
So what happened?
Right?
The signs were in the air in front of the.
In front of the polling station, all the way down the street from the top to the bottom.
Oh.
They were 6 inches apart from each other, littered the entire
But they've
air
all-
on both sides
They've all read
of
the
the
rules.
street.
They know that's not allowed.
That's not allowed.
They know the rules. They
They
signed
know
up on
the
the rules,
rules.
yeah.
The city, as
Did you guys get the package online or on paper?
online,
Yeah, so you got it
right?
online,
You have
right?
the package
Yeah, you
online.
gotta read all- yeah.
Plus, then they email you,
Yeah.
and here's your sign rules.
That's right.
And it can be only, so it's supposed to be about 5 feet away from a curb and 2 feet away from a sidewalk, right? Can't be so
Yeah,
many
yeah.
feet, like 2 feet away from another candidate's
You know,
sign.
like public polls and
right?
all this stuff, like
Yeah,
in the area. Yeah,
right.
a whole
So
bunch of stuff.
I put my sign down and like far away from everybody else. Put my sign down. Next day I go by, there's 2 signs within 6 inches of mine, and mine is buried. I can't
Yeah.
see it.
You know, somebody
Right?
didn't videotape that part. Did they videotape that?
So
Did they video that on the news?
No.
Did they removing the signs and all?
No, it was just the bylaw officers with their trucks. They go and scoop up all the signs. They collected hundreds.
I heard people.
Right, just from that one location.
I heard over 1,000 people doing it. That's what I heard.
Right? Yeah, yeah.
So the people,
I-
the people know the rules then.
The
You
people know the
you
rules.
Yeah.
The residents of this
They know the
ward are
rules.
very upset
Oh, yeah.
of the visual spam that the signs have done.
Yeah.
Right? And the ones who are in the media complaining
Yeah.
that they were somehow a victim are the actual perpetrators of it.
Was that just the one polling station or both
Both. Heron Park as well.
as well? Eh?
Right? And you go there today
Yeah.
and there'll be signs in front of in anticipation that
Yeah.
it's a polling center.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all
Right?
right. I know that for sure. Yeah.
There's signs there now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? You can see the area not too far from here, Morningside and Finch. You go into that area, right? And it's the same. You want like the first corner into it, lined with signs,
Yeah.
thousands of them, all the way down the street. Like they're on the center medians. They're not supposed to be on the center medians,
Yeah.
right?
But they don't get
So-
fined now. I've
They
talked to-
don't get fined.
This is the thing with Elections Toronto. I've talked to them before. I know
They don't get fined.
The staff, their staff are amazing. Just to let you
Yeah.
know, I know. Talking through the years, we talked about different things in the. They can make the rules, but things are not enforced. Like you're not gonna get. Before you used to get fined, you didn't use your signs by a certain time period.
Yeah.
Now they got rid of that.
It's 72 hours after.
Yeah. So they got rid of fines.
that.
So now
right?
with this one, with
The signs have to be a certain size,
Yeah.
right? But if you make a bigger one, you don't get it. It doesn't get removed, right? There's no consequences.
Do you think they
on
should
it.
be more strict on the rules? Like,
Right.
for example, if you break over a certain amount of campaign rules, you should be out of the election, right?
Well,
I'll give you an example. I'm gonna get a ding for
or
this.
you make it very expensive,
Well,
right? There's signs in other wards. So Nielsen, right here, okay, you go up and down Nielsen. The other side of Nielsen's another ward.
yeah. I've
They
seen
have
it, yeah,
signs
yeah.
in the other ward,
One of the
right?
one of the
Morningside is the same.
Yeah.
You go down Morningside, right, from the 401.
Yeah.
On the right-hand side is another ward,
Yeah.
and you'll have election signs right now for this ward in that ward.
Yeah.
If you don't know the boundaries,
Well, that's the thing.
What are
right?
you doing?
Well, are you getting desperate now, right?
right?
You know? Well, all these signs, in a way, pleads desperation. Like, I want to win no matter what.
Yeah.
I'll break the rules or whatever. What you know?
So I've been thoughtful about the way that I roll up my signs, and I've been checking on them, moving some, taking some up.
I think
and
the
moving some,
fines
things
should be
like
there.
that,
I know
but
they are fines, but there should be more strict rules, right? As they can, like for mayor.
They could limit the number of signs
Like
used
one
in
of
a
the mayor,
campaign.
one of the mayor candidates ran in 2022. I won't mention his name, but he actually destroyed public property.
Yeah.
He had to sign or his logo, spray pen at Hyde Park,
Yeah,
right by the gate. And then the next thing he did was he put his name beside the Toronto sign.
yeah.
And that's he got told he got to remove it, but I don't know if it's confidential. Whether he got fined, but I think people were complaining to me and other candidates and said automatic removal.
Yeah.
You know the rules. You're destroying public property. You're gonna run for mayor and you're doing this
Yeah.
on property.
Exactly.
Is that desperate?
Exactly.
And spray painting.
Right?
They made a.
How can you be asking for the vote of the
They made a
residents
humongous stencil. So they
if
had
you're
a camera.
disrespecting the
Yeah,
residents?
they had a camera, the whole crew doing the stencil, spray painting. I think it was under a crosswalk.
Yeah.
And that crosswalk is public property. That's city property.
Yeah.
That's a city safety zone, right?
Yeah.
And they're trying to make this point. I don't know why you pick Hart Park for the rock. But anyways, and then the sign on Toronto was on the news. He got all mad. He got to remove the. He had his whatever his logo was beside the Toronto. That's called vandalism.
Yeah.
The Toronto sign's there.
Yeah.
And also your advertising on city property. That's
Yeah.
another thing.
Yeah.
So he got told by the security at the go, and he got all mad about that.
Yeah, no.
He didn't win any, but still.
No, no,
People
no.
kept complaining. Even the higher person was saying, get him out of there. He's destroying
Yeah.
public property. This is
Yeah.
the mayor to be?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know? That's,
There should be definitely consequences.
there should be.
There should be consequences.
And if you've done anything violent in the past, there's nothing discussed about like history, like you've been convicted and all that. Should you run for mayor? If you've been like, who's been investigated, some people, and one particular person, he won the election again, but people say, why is he running? He's being investigated. If you get convicted, then you got another by-election, right? And that's the thing. There's no rules about it. You can have a criminal past. You can be a.
And they can make the rules,
Yeah.
right? But then they're voting on the rules that they're making as well,
Yeah,
right?
that's right.
You know, so
I was gonna ask you
Yeah.
what's your tattoo?
oh, that's my son's name,
Logan?
Ethan Owen,
Ethan Owen?
and then his date of birth.
And the one on the arm?
That one is
Don't tread me?
No,
remember
no.
Remember the old 70s, the steak?
that's the he was born the year of the tiger.
Ah, the Chinese zodiac.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm the rabbit.
Yeah.
The rabbit, 63, yeah.
right. So he was born the year of the tiger.
Yeah.
Right. This is the stab through the heart. And that's about it.
That's cool.
Oh, I have one back there, family
Good.
crest.
Is your son been helping you with the campaign?
Yes.
Yeah?
Definitely.
Did I meet him?
Well,
was he
he
there
was,
at the,
he was at the Port Union event, right? He wasn't too sociable, but that's okay.
Is it with the beard?
He had no beard. He's 14.
He was there.
Yeah.
I must have a video.
He was sitting in a chair,
Oh.
watching his phone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He was sitting in the podium.
Yeah. Yeah, the Port Union one.
That was the presentation. It's why they never had any debates. They get you guys going and talking about, it's unfortunate.
Kind of hard to manage with that many people.
Well, they could have split it in half.
Right.
They had, could have done it in a divisive way, like, well, the more ones that show up all the time, Like the last one, the Ward 20, they broke down the last debate was four candidates.
Yeah, I would think like maybe a question and answer from the audience.
Yeah.
And then give each person a chance to answer the same question.
Yeah.
That might work better
I
than
think
a
I worked like
debate.
your Q&A with Ron.
Yeah.
With the Zoom.
Yeah.
The 9, how many, 11 show?
Yeah.
Yeah. That could be, these are more serious candidates. They're there for everything.
Yeah.
And I told you at the candidate, I said, don't ignore things like the TTC riders. You did that. I asked other counties they said, oh, I didn't get the notice. Well, they advertise this stuff.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, they did.
If their email was on the Toronto site,
that's right.
they got it.
It's all based on Toronto.
They got it.
It is. That's
check
right.
their junk settings.
Anything
Right.
like TTC Ride is a good group. I just joined them. I've been there for a while, but I went to one of their meetings. They're nice. They're really good.
Yeah.
But when they had the election, they had all the mayor candidates. They had like the survey we had.
Yeah.
They had your picture there, like you guys had, and they had all like a big board there, and they're on TV showing this.
Yeah.
Right. And people got recognized for that.
Yeah.
But don't ignore all. Just
Well, so one thing, like on their response to fare capping, right? They said, "Ask for me on fare capping."
Yeah.
But in my response to them, I said, the TTC, if it had the right data, it could make shorter trips cheaper,
yeah.
right, for people, and then cap cap everybody at like $300 a month for a pass. So you could have a blend of both things.
Yeah, like
right.
the thing with
Without
the
leading the expense, without making it more expenses
we
for
discussed it with the
everybody.
group there,
Yeah. Right. And if making it cheaper for the shorter distances, I think would get more people having shorter
so
distances.
I had like 20, say if you take 20 rides, you get the rest free, the month free. But the example is, the drawback is, say you got a medical problem, you got a heart attack, so you've already paid that $40 for that many rides.
Yeah, no, not a
That's-
prepay.
No, that's
Not a
the
prepay.
thing. Yeah, that's the thing.
Right?
That's what we talked about.
Like a max pay.
Yeah, a max pay.
Right? So if you brought the top fare down to $3.35, you brought it down to $3 and then 100 rides, right? You tap out at 300. That's lower than the Metro Pass thing that they have right now, the preloaded, right? That works out a lot, like 356, I think it is now. But a short, somebody going 5 stops on the surface on a bus, right? That costs the same amount from going from U of T campus to Kennedy Station to Kipling Station up to north of Etobicoke. It's the same. Like, why is that the same?
Yeah.
Right? If you want that long trip to be 335, then fine, right? But the one only going 5 to 10 stops, let's say,
Make it
make
shorter.
make it
Yeah,
$1.50, make it $2, like cheaper,
Yeah.
right? Then you get more people using the service for shorter distances, which means they're probably leaving their car in their driveway for those short trips to the grocery store and back, right? Like, that's the thinking behind it. But they don't have exit data on the surface routes. They don't have it for the buses. They don't have it for the streetcars because there's no tap off.
Yeah.
So they don't know when somebody gets on and when somebody gets off. They know when somebody gets on and then on and then on.
But they have
Right.
they have a total of $6 million lost in evaded fares, jumping over the turnstile and all that.
Yeah,
it's just
fare
like-
evasion and things like
yeah.
that. That's a symptom that it's too expensive for a lot of people,
Yeah.
right? That's what that
Now
is.
they want to raise fares next year again.
They're always going to want to raise fares. Always going to raise fares,
But I say
right?
myself, like,
TTC seniors, right?
Yeah.
Charge them $1
Yeah.
to get on the bus if they want,
Yeah.
right? That's an idea.
The wheel trains need to be improved.
Right.
A lot of talking with a lot of people seen it complain about the service,
Yeah.
if they missed their bus.
Well, that's also been privatized in a way too,
It has, yeah.
right?
My stepfather knew the guy that started it way back
Oh,
before
yeah?
TTC took over. They bought
Yeah.
They bought him off. Yeah, he did. He started his own company. I can't remember the guy's name, but he was a friend of my stepfather's years ago.
Yeah.
Before he became wheelchair. Yeah, now it's
Yeah.
got more. It's still limited because a lot of people, seniors don't have phones. They don't use computers. My mom doesn't use a computer. I do all the
Yeah.
booking. She shoots it on phone, but now even the booking time.
Yeah, they're used to the dial up and the
Yeah.
old ways of communicating and things like that.
And then they get penalized if you missed
So-
your ride. But
Yeah.
the seniors get punished. You miss so many rides, you can't take it, or you get.
Yeah.
So I'm not too happy
It's,
with that.
yeah, it has to be thoughtful. So, decisions that come in and that aren't thoughtful are they lead to just wasted money,
Yeah.
right? And disrespect for people who use the services.
Yeah,
Right?
back to
So-
like everyday things we do in the city, no matter what. Everyday uses, the seniors, just we're talking about all everyday things that's ignored down at the city hall.
Yeah.
And they talk about traffic and
They all want their, name on the side of a building or a bronze statue in a park or something like that. I have no real interest in that.
You're talking about favorite councillor getting favoritism. I'm not gonna say the councillors, but back then he's gone now. He used to have a thing. I don't know if it was a contract or some sort of agreement with the during snow plowing. He had his street plowed over anybody else.
Yeah. There's been shenanigans like that.
And then, so his street was, and further down, not too far, it was all senior. And they were getting ignored, like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They were getting
I heard this
ignored.
all the time. I heard it many times.
Right.
People complaining about that. But you probably, you get all the emails.
There's
right?
your opponent's house. Just put all the snow in front of their house, right? Give them a mountain to climb.
Oh yeah, and even apparently he complained it wasn't done in time. He had to go to work.
That's crazy.
Meanwhile, all these senior buses are stuck in snow. They're waiting for them. But you know what? You get all the emails like I've been doing. So now it's going to continue on. Let's go on for a long time. Unless you get right out of the picture, you're going to get emails after the war, after the election. Because people are looking to you.
Yeah.
Oh, he ran for council. He won, or he didn't win. But let's approach him. I get that all the time.
Yeah.
Especially with this war going on, doing the presentations. For some reason, they think I'm running it. I said, I'm not running. I'm just videotaping it. So I go, here's the association. They're running it. We're all working together to get you guys out there because there's no media coverage. Now I heard some of the papers are calling. So the non-partisan groups, they get opinions. They can't give an opinion, but they want to know what's going on with the war.
Right.
The last week with the, where do you think, who thinks the top candidates? Nobody has any idea. There's no idea. Like I said, you're getting the most views, and people are surprised. Like, they don't know. You go, where'd he come from? Who's this guy? They've seen your presentation. You've seen all your Diana, another one, Diana Rogers. I've known her. I've known her from the last. I went to the Ward. Ward 25, the last election.
Oh,
they only had one debate. That's where I met her. She was an outspoken person. I remember.
Yeah.
And I recognized her. She's pretty nice. Yeah. I heard all kinds of comments about her reviews about her. But she's speaking the truth. Like you guys are all like. You need to speak things about politics. We don't want to hear about that side, but you need to speak it up because nobody's talking about it, right?
Nobody's talking about it.
It's like they're afraid to make a comment or like for example, I got invited to it was a debate. It was an all different culture. I won't say what culture it was. It was all a different culture debate, and so they didn't ask me. No, they asked me, and I said I wouldn't go because every debate I've been on my election 23. There were about 10 of us. They're all different nationalities, white, black, everything, right? I said, for me to go to your secretary debate, I would say, sorry, my friends, you're white, you can't go. This is our debate. That's just ignorance. So I got blackballed for that, big time. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because it's called segregation, right?
Yeah.
And they're, because they wanted to focus on this different nationality than these candidates of that kind, right? And once it was kind, they'll get in trouble. So because I said, no, I'm not going, I even phoned them up. I said, can I bring so-and-so, so-and-so? Well, they're, listen, we've been like 7 debates altogether. There's no barrier of what race or what color or even background.
No, if there's going to be a political debate or forum, and you're reaching out, you shouldn't pick and choose the candidates on there, right?
That's called segregation.
It's a favoritism in a way, right? But there's like with CBC and they're doing, the story on signs. They only reach out to 3 people. They give them camera time, right?
Oh, they interview the people that got their signs taken up?
Yeah.
Oh, they were there?
Yeah.
I haven't seen this. I gotta watch this.
It's online. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So they give them airtime. They give them airtime. They complain about breaking the rule, like how people are, victimizing them and ripping their signs out and things like that.
What does that have to do with the breaking the rules and the signs?
No mention of that. No mention of that. No mention of that.
Okay.
Right. No mention of that. No.
Well, the CBC didn't ask them why your signs you get taken out because you've broken the rules.
No. It was totally. I'm a victim. My signs are being ripped out. I'm a victim, right? And it's like the CBC should.
I know you don't want to see the candidates on.
No, the CBC should have phoned the bylaw office and said, are they like if they came to the ward and looked around places and saw the sign placements, they'd see with their own eyes of the visual spam and the craziness of the thing.
They should know about
right?
the now.
But then when elections, Toronto takes the sign, or the bylaw office takes the sign, right? You can get that sign back. Yeah. You can call them up and,
that's
and
right.
state
come get your
that
sign,
you want the signs back, right? If you don't state it, they'll throw it out, right? And so they know that. They know that. And they're complaining about, I've lost thousands of dollars, blah, 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 right? And it's like, you know.
And you're not getting fined for it either.
Yeah, and you're not getting fined for it.
Before,
right? So, anyway.
I have to watch that. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen
Yeah, it's on there.
article,
It's a video presentation. Right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, on
CBC.
CBC.
Okay.
Yeah, local.
Have you been approached by any other local papers or so? I know the Bluffs is on. Actually, they should be back on. They're on vacation till the 22nd. Because I called them for you guys.
Yeah, so the Scarborough United, they reached out. We did a 95-word thing that we were allowed, and then they fed it to Centennial and West Hill paper.
Oh, okay.
Right? The Bluffs paper.
Did you get copies of that yourself?
Yeah, they're online.
Okay. Is it on your website?
That I have to check.
Yeah, you put it on your website.
They're online.
Yeah.
And what I said in it is online. So, but the Bluffs paper, they did, again, they picked a handful of candidates. They wrote what they wanted to write.
Oh, was that at the beginning, right? The beginning of the election?
Yeah, at the beginning of the election.
Yeah.
And
They haven't really covered it. They haven't gone through all the candidates.
Yeah, so that, they didn't contact me for that.
Because I called them
No
when
idea.
the first meeting, and the recording was they're not coming back till the 22nd.
Yeah.
Because the last time the ward election, they did cover all the candidates, most of them. They get little write-ups each one. It was good.
Yeah,
So maybe they might do that.
I see
don't know.
that they have a space, like
Yeah.
space issues and things like that
Yeah.
too. But you should at least reach out to the candidates.
I'm gonna give him
and
I'll give him
see
the call because
what they have
I know
to
the
say.
owner. I did a few video tapes. That's where I met him.
Yeah.
Nice guy. Good guy.
Yeah, there's
Daniel.
only so much time between now and what? How many days left are we?
It's 3 more days, right?
Right.
Yeah.
The 6th, so
Monday.
3 more days.
Monday's the day.
right? 3 more days.
So what do you do on Monday during the election day? What will you do?
I haven't really planned that far that day yet.
Yeah.
I haven't planned it out yet.
A contingent party going on or whatever? Or
No. I want to go to. I want to see the results down at the Toronto Elections Office.
Okay.
Right. So.
They'll post it on the paper like that
Yeah.
night.
No, I can't wait that one.
Okay.
I want to see it at the Toronto Election Office.
They'll usually do that day, the night out. They'll say
The night
so.
of.
It's, yeah, but they'll have the results. Well, they'll usually do the results for like the same day. It's like,
You'll get the results first at Toronto Elections Office.
yeah,
Right. So I'll go down there
you can see the results.
and see it at 8 o'clock. It should be done by 9:30. They say.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah.
what's the for you doing all the canvassing? How's the response been for you as a candidate?
Good. Yeah.
Do you get a lot of people
Positive.
Do you get a lot of people recognizing you from before?
Some people recognize me,
Yeah.
right? Everybody's been friendly. Everybody's been
So you said it's
happy.
positive. So
and
what do they like?
all
about,
positive.
So what do they like about you? What is it about your personality that just gets
Just talk about normal things, right?
Yeah.
Just talk about normal things.
Maybe it's the way you talk. You have a way calm
and
way of talking.
people.
You're like that.
You
You know,
know.
like, you know the voice. You know the voice in the elevator. Hello, I'm taking the elevator. Right?
Yeah.
You got that calm voice.
So-
yeah. And you're casual, very casual way you talk.
I'm not pushy,
No.
right? I can talk to people. I can be forceful when I need to be forceful, but when you're talking to people on the street and going up to their homes and just explain who you are, what you're doing, and if they don't want to hear from you, thank you graciously and have a nice day.
That's good. I get emails.
Right.
I'll make a joke. I get emails calling you. Who's the glad man?
Oh, the ball
The ball head. I go.
Yeah.
I had to go. Who's the glad man? Who are you talking about? No.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was making a joke. The last by-election for the ward, it was the only election that had the most bald people in the candidates. It was hilarious. Yeah, half the candidates were all bald.
I'm following the challenge.
It was
I can't help that.
No, it was
I can't
hilarious.
help
I
that.
was trying to make a joke about it in the local paper. Hey, it's the only by-election that had the most bald candidates.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
hilarious just hearing that. And you have to think, oh yeah, that's great.
Yeah. No, I started shaving my head
Good.
a long time ago and just kept on doing it.
So what do you do for yourself? The hobbies or fitness? You work out?
Been walking 16 kilometers a day,
Yeah.
20 kilometers a day since July.
I know. So what do you do?
No, I like going to the gym and things like that.
Yeah.
Depends on the season, depends on what I'm doing personally and professionally, things like that. So
Yeah.
it's a variety of tasks, kayaking, camping.
You like kayaking? You like camping? That's nice.
Yeah,
Oh, I don't- yeah.
kayaking, camping, just normal stuff. I just don't have time.
Yeah. So
This
and
summer.
then at the end of the day, after you're done canvassing, how do you mellow out when you're home?
I just, it's very hard actually. It's very hard.
You like going down?
Yeah, because when I get home, I pop on the computer and find out different emails that I missed and respond to them. And I have ideas in my head and want to flush them out and I write
You
them
find
down.
it kind of cool that all
know.
these emails are coming at you, like,
Yeah.
you're just so busy, right?
Yeah.
Answering emails
Right.
alone takes time.
Yeah.
Do you answer all your
Like,
emails?
yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
What about
Answer
phone
all
calls?
the
You
emails.
answer all your phone calls?
All the phone calls.
That's good. People like that when they return
All the
calls.
phone calls, all the emails.
Maybe when you get elected, you can pass on to councils down there and say, no, answer your calls.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them don't answer,
No.
especially the older ones. I've heard a few complaints now, quite a few.
Yeah.
They many make phone calls to one particular word and nothing's responded.
No.
Why do you get with it? That's like, you're not returning calls.
They go, oh, we have 311. And
Well, I liked about Rob
oh,
Ford when he became mayor. He was always known to return his phone calls.
Yeah.
And I went by that platform.
Yeah.
Return the calls. I heard people saying, he called me at 4 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm returning your call. Sorry, man. I can only get time. Only got so much time in the day, right? And
Yeah.
you know.
So, yeah, no. I would have my phone number out there. I would have the email out there. I'd want to communicate with everybody the way that they would want to receive the communication,
Yeah.
right? So, the young people, social media, things like that, that's the way they want to receive it. Some people like it on Facebook. Some people are not on Facebook. Some people like a newsletter in the mail,
Mhm.
right? Some people like, a fridge magnet with the phone number on it and the
Yeah.
email so they can get in contact when they
You
need
know,
you.
when
right?
people
So-
use your promo bag, your little, I got to
Yeah.
tell you, I like what you said. Grab a bag downstairs, pick up all the other
Yeah.
stuff. That was funny. Actually,
Yeah.
a lot of people I saw people a lot carrying your bags. Good advertising, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're
Well,
being thoughtful and you're sharing.
being thoughtful,
And
right?
You're not being selfish about it.
Well.
That's really cool. So before I go, you talked about youth just briefly. What do you like? You talk about mentoring, more mentoring for youth programs or stuff. There's a big gap where youth not involved with the politics. They want to get involved, but their voice is not there. What would you do?
Youth in politics. Youth in politics.
Maybe you need like more community stuff, not just politics itself, right?
Yeah. It's you need to have the opportunities there. Most of these things are funded by charities and things like that. They're not profits. We do have decent facilities in the ward
Yeah.
through for different programs to happen. But then so they need to want to get out of their house too, right?
Yeah.
Like youth right now are on videos all the
Yeah,
time,
that's the thing.
right? They're on their phones all
Yeah.
the time. They're on YouTube. They're on different things all the time. It's the new TV, right? So they have to want to get out and actually do stuff as well. Tackling youth unemployment right now and the way things have been going for quite a while, and again the policies that other governments have in place that skew the economy in such a way that doesn't give the young people any opportunities is wrong, and that needs to be fixed, right?
Look at the CD, the amount of turnout just for a couple thousand jobs.
Yeah.
It was sad. You're seeing
Right.
it. I mean,
They always have large turnouts,
Yeah.
more than the jobs,
Yeah,
but
it's just-
at that rate, that's insane, right? So shop local, hire local, great, but the businesses need to hire local youth, right? The local youth need to apply for the jobs, right? They can't be farmed out and subsidized from the federal government towards a placement agency, right? And that has happened a long time. Whoever goes to the placement agency places all the jobs, right? Takes a cut of the kids' paychecks, right?
Yeah.
And
What
throws
about
into
like
the
youths
street
that
kind
are
of thing.
interested? Say
So
they're
there's many aspects to
Yeah.
the engagement program, but again, it's making things relevant to what they need,
yeah.
making them feel heard and connected to the community, right? And when you start, if they start feeling disconnected to their own surrounding community, that's when you start losing them.
Yeah, like even like they have certain goals, like say even youth, like their interest being maybe a plumber or electrician, but they can't afford it right now. So maybe something like a volunteer, like you have somebody under your
There's
wing.
got to be co-op programs
co-op
in
and
the
volunteer,
schools,
bring them in,
and,
and
things
if you
like
want that trade, try it
Yeah.
out.
So with the trades, though, a lot of it has got to do with. It's not so easy as to just bring it in as a volunteer because they got the WEMIS training and all that kind of stuff, right? They have, unions which say, you can't just volunteer for that job. You have to be an apprentice for that job, right? So you have to go through some stuff first. So, there's different regulations and things like that maybe weren't there in the 60s or whatever, but for workplace protections, obviously. But if people feel, I feel like if people feel connected to their community, right, and can see changes around it, are proud of where they live in their community, that there will be opportunity for them and they will be able to create opportunities for themselves, right?
There's one candidate in the last election. She's from Scarborough. She wanted to open a facility teaching boxing, taekwondo, fighting, street fighting, and she had it all planned out.
Yeah.
She wanted to get youth off the streets, get into crime, get off crimes, get in, mentoring them, training other kids and all. And but she got denied, so unfortunately, it was a good plan. I liked it.
Denied for
to getting the thing done. Yeah, they wouldn't allow. They put it at City Hall.
was it as a charity?
No, it was it wasn't. It was just a community. One day that's a community building.
Yeah.
Community hall, and it has a.
Oh, in the community centers.
Yeah. But I think she wanted a specific facility built in the area, and they wanted that funded by the city people that. Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah,
it was a great idea. It was a good idea. She had like over 100,000 signatures from parents alone.
Yeah.
To get it done. I thought it was nice to see that.
But it wasn't.
It was denied. Yeah, City Hall denied it again. But just the one lady.
Yeah.
And she's a Muslim lady, and it's for everybody.
But she can do it as a
They
business.
had too much red tape and all that. They talk about liability and all.
Yeah.
So you just mention something.
The insurance.
Think of City Hall. As soon as you mention one idea.
Yeah.
The people say bring your IDs to City Hall. Well, people do bring the IDs like she did, and it gets denied. Red tape. This. I don't know. And it just shuts her off. She wants to do it one day. She still has plans, but unfortunately, she went down that way.
Yeah.
It was good. Just one idea, one person, like I said. They said even in the elections, bring your IDs to City Hall. These are ideas. But if you're gonna get out some red tape, it's like housing.
Yeah.
Too much red tape. I don't know why. It's like that. We're the only city in the world. I don't know. You're a real estate guy. Are we the only city in the world that has these problems?
No.
No.
No, we're not.
I've seen things done fast in Europe, in Montreal.
Australia has a lot of problems that we have.
Yeah.
Right. England has a lot of problems that we have. Actually, they're ahead in their problems more than we are. Scotland, Ireland is having a lot of problems. There's different problems of various degrees across what used to be, I guess, British-based democracies, or whatever, for whatever reason. But they're having much of the same. Australians are probably the closest to us in terms of housing and things like that. The thing with housing is people love to scapegoat realtors, right? But it's the governments that set the priorities, right? And they set the interest rates, and they set the priorities, and they tell you where things are zoning, and they basically outline where money should flow, right? Malvern was originally purchased as CMHC housing, right? so CMHC built the first housing in Malvern and designed the streets, and that's why they're so windy and have cut through.
Okay.
Okay, so then they had various housing styles, right? So a good portion of Malvern is an example of what CMHC used to do for housing, right? It was what followed was once populated, once people, they bought the homes, they weren't renting, they bought the homes, right? Once the area was populated, it was so disconnected from the rest of the city just moved on to other things, right? So, and they got forgotten a bit, right? And a lot of people have been saying this over time, like, it's like the zoo, right? Why does the zoo have, fantastic numbers for, people going there and things like that? Because it doesn't have a mass transit connection to the rest of the city. Like, it takes 10 buses to get to the zoo from Kennedy Station, or
10 buses.
like, I'm exaggerating,
No, I know what you
but
mean.
it's a very long
it is
process,
it is.
right? To get there without a car, right? But then they stick Ripley's aquarium right beside the CN Tower, right? They've clustered everything downtown since, I'd say, the 70s, right? And haven't spread it out across the city, right? So if you have any attractions all downtown, right, and not spread out across, then you can't get transit connections spread across, and everything feeds into downtown.
Well,
and it
they
becomes
proposed Skydome back then. They wanted one of those bigger wards. It's not downtown.
No, downtown.
BMO Field,
Downtown.
CNE take over. Destroyed my favorite ride, Alpine cars.
Yeah.
But all this, like that, there's downtown. Everything's downtown.
Everything's downtown.
So this, unfortunately,
Right.
the City Hall
They
is
want to take out the Science Center and put it on Ontario Place downtown.
right? So all these
Right.
wards, look how much land here. We talk about the multiplexes. You got too much land here. You don't need all that. This ward doesn't need all these stuff, right? You could have built a baseball diamond up here. You could have moved up here. You could have built a BMO field up here. We got a lot of land.
Yeah, they could have done a lot of.
I mean, they blame traffic problem, congestion. Well, you built everything downtown. What do you expect?
Yeah, exactly.
You got more subways going downtown than anywhere
Right.
else. What do you expect? You got subways breaking down. You got no backup like other subways around the world, right?
No, exactly.
Like when Kiel,
Right.
when
There's
something happened, like I was stuck on Kiel there a while back, and something happened when Kipling. So the whole thing was shut down for half an hour, waiting there.
yeah.
And you can't go anywhere. You're
No.
stuck.
No.
Where you have like other, like New York, London, they all have backup.
Yeah.
And we don't have. I don't know why it was not designed.
We haven't built. We have less now in Scarborough than what we had before. I promise. To take it all away and just put 3 stops on the subway, say here you go. It's
You ever ask yourself
it's
why?
a bit of a slap in the
Why
face.
are we so prejudiced to these? Why is Scarborough still left out? Scarborough's the biggest ward in the whole area, right?
It's not about size. It's about money.
Yeah.
Right. So the old city of Toronto, right? East York will relate with it. Parts of Etobicoke will relate with it, and parts of North York will relate with it, right? And so they can get similar things done because they vote in similar ways and they need similar things, right? Etobicoke, the most north Etobicoke would be kind of the most like this ward here, right? In terms of away from transit and disconnected from the rest of the city, but it's also Scarborough's not had a mayor since amalgamation, right? We've had David Miller, John Tory, the Fords, right? Who am I forgetting?
Chow?
Olivia Chow, right? So 1 Etobicoke and 3 downtown, right? Mel Lastman, he was the original
North
after.
York, wasn't he?
Huh?
Was he North York?
He was North York,
Yeah.
right? So he was the first mayor after amalgamation, right? And a couple of things like agree with him, disagree with him. He's more of a populist type of guy, right?
He got a subway built.
But he got the subway started on Shepherd.
Got his own mailbox square.
He did a deal to kickstart construction for condos in this city. He started it with I'll tell you what he did. So Canada Lands Corporation outside the Skydome owned a vast tract of the old freight rail that they wanted to repurpose. So he did a deal with them, and Concord, which was a major builder in British Columbia at the time, to start with City Place. And he said all the Canada Lands land between CN Tower and Bathurst, you will be able to build on. Okay?
Of the condos.
The condos, yeah, City Place, right? You will be able to build on, and no other builder will be able to build on it. Okay? Which is what happened, right? In exchange, regardless of market conditions, you have to build. Regardless of market conditions, you have to build, right? So they sold out the first 2 buildings in the matter of a weekend. Opened up the sales center for the next 2 buildings, right? Sold them out very quickly, right? Those towers at the time were up in about 4 years, right? Now, the city of Toronto takes 8 years to get a condo in the air, right? So if you're 20 years old, or say, just for easy math, say you're 25 years old, and you go put a deposit down in a condo, okay? You could be 33 or 35 years old by the time you get the keys. Your life has changed since then.
Oh yeah.
Right? So then once the other builders in the city saw that these guys were selling out condos within days, then they started buying up parking lots to put up condos, and it's what catalysted it, right? So there was a couple other things behind the scenes, but that was the catalyst. So that's why City Place, Concord built all the City Place, and no other developer is on that piece of land, because regardless of market conditions, and it was an up market for all that period of time, but when it started, people were scared as hell as buying condominiums in the city. It was the late 90s, right? So that was a catalyst in my mind that turned everything around. So at the time too, he had the North York planned for their downtown area, right? And he was that's what he had planned out. Then the cities amalgamated, and
why did you stop at Ferry Mall? Why you went all to Ferry Mall?
That's all they really had money for.
Yeah.
Is what is on paper as that they had money for. That's why the stations that are on that line are kind of basic, bare bones stations.
Yeah.
Right. They never put in a station at Willowdale, which should have.
So he's the only mayor basically in the last 50 years that made a subway, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the only mayor.
Yeah.
Not counting.
Right. Well, the other subway is the one that goes into Vaughan.
Yes.
Right. The extension of Spadina.
Stops.
Right. Yeah. Goes up into Vaughan.
Yeah.
And the development charges, to repay the loan on that one is on development charges. So if you build a new condo in Scarborough, on part of your development fees, which are close to $150,000, will be debt repayment for a subway in the West End. You'll probably never ever.
So your
use.
experience as a realtor will help the board a lot, right?
Yes, because I don't have a selfish. I don't have a selfish ulterior motive to get things done,
Yeah.
right? I don't have a development company that I want to feed business to. I don't
Exactly.
have,
Yeah.
right? Like I have a lot of
Like some of
good
the-
ideas.
like some
I
of the
can see
councils, right?
the development of you know what an area would need in terms of boosting it in terms of development and things like that. But if you have somebody who's always has their personal financial interests in mind rather than what's better for the few, and I'm not accusing anybody of anything, I'm just going by past experiences from what you've seen in the political arena in Toronto, for example, you know, so I have no ulterior motive, right? My only motive is to do as best as I can for the entire ward.
Yeah, but with your background experience that you talk right now,
Of course, it
you can-
plays
you can-
into it.
Yeah, and you can
right?
You can either implement that in City Hall, you know, because you got that.
Yeah,
You
Right.
just told me it now. You know, a lot of people may not know that. You know, they're
Right.
planning things ahead of time without consulting a guy like you. Knows what how real estate's done, the condo development with the whole Mel Aspen, as you just said here. I didn't know all that stuff, and
Yeah.
you know, they can take that into consideration for planning. And that's missing, I think. It's things like that.
yeah,
Everyday planning, every living, right?
yeah.
You know, and that's what it is. And that's
Right.
why, you know, as a candidate, and that's
Like,
grassroots
you
down
can't-
to grassroots. That's-
Yeah, you can't be, you know.
You see how it's done, right?
Yeah,
The part-
it has to be done thoughtful,
That's
and
right.
it has to be done.
And this is what I think is
right?
lacking in
But
City
the
Hall.
city,
Is lacking in.
yeah, they got greedy on real estate.
and that's the
They
problem.
jacked
Well, look at the-
development
look at the
fees.
condos.
They rubber stamp. They let you know.
They predicted the
think-
crash years ago.
Yeah,
You know, and this
right.
is happening here now.
And it's happening. They
Yeah.
milked the system for as long as it would, and they burst the bubble, and so those are government decisions over a long period of time that piled up, right? And now we are where we are, and we need to figure out, you know, how to make things affordable for people who want to not invest necessarily, but you know, have their first place to live.
Yeah.
Like when I first started selling condos, you know, 2003, I was able to get a first-year teacher, a condo downtown, one bedroom, for about $200,000, and they needed about a gift from their parents of $10,000 to $20,000, and then another like $2,000-3,000 in closing costs.
Yeah.
Like, not in today's money, not a lot of money. Now people need, you know, $250,000 to, like, the development fees are the price of what condos used to be when I first started selling them in 2000.
And now?
Like that was just the. Now it's the cost of the development fee.
Yeah.
What used to be the price of the space. It's crazy.
That's what's in there. And it's all added up, right?
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So your background.
So.
You know, that's what I mean. More grassroots candidate backgrounds, putting implementation of your knowledge, because it's poor. It's a poor city planning. We've seen. I know some of these city managers. I'm not being prejudiced, but someone's gotta go. You gotta get out of there. You gotta retire. You know, you're gonna keep the hotel we got here on Scarborough. They want to extend the life on the hotel for the homeless.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, what is that? Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, and I saw the deputation of the council that was basically kind of not ignorant of the way he says, well, what else are we gonna do with them? Basically, kind of said it in so many words. Well, what do you mean? You're the councilor, work as city manager. Well, sorry, these city managers still the last 20 years are still there.
Yeah.
They're the same ideas. Nothing fresh is coming in there.
No.
And that's the problem.
No.
That's why poor city planning.
So. You know, there's areas in the ward too that need a bit of a revitalization, a bit of a.
You gotta get a lot of. I get emails getting. We need the weeds in our area.
Yeah.
The weeds that grow all over the place. Just sitting in glass. Just simple things like that. Like the garbage bins. You know, the ones that the contractors. I'll look at things like plastic and all that.
There's garbage on the floor over there.
Yeah,
and
we're talking
there's
here.
5 bins right there.
Yeah, there's 5 bins right there. Yeah, there's garbage. There's bins everywhere.
Yeah.
Actually, it's the only place there's so many bins in one area. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 areas right now.
Yeah.
6 sets of garbage bins, right?
So.
Yeah. So anyways,
People have to respect the area that they live in too, right?
So before we head up, what's the why should people vote for you, Brian Matthews?
Well, I've outlaid that now for quite a long
I
time,
know.
right?
So, what can you bring? And you can bring
You
a
know
lot.
what? Okay, so here's the thing. There's 13 months between now and the next election.
Yeah.
Okay. If you've been listening to this and you find it genuine and honest and intelligent and honest, right? That you believe that I have the passion to work hard for the war, right? Then give me the vote. If I fail miserably, there will be a lot of people next time, which is only 13 months away, with a huge target on my back. Right?
That's good.
If I win this time, there's going to be so many political interest groups, so many back alley groups, so many backers at City Hall wanting to target me. But there won't be 20 candidates on the ballot. Right? We can have a real race then and decide then. If one of them gets in now, they will be very hard to get out in 13 months.
It's true. Well, you never know.
They will be very
if you don't do a
hard.
good job.
No, because they'll have the budget behind them from the incumbency, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? And they know how to use it,
Oh yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
Great. So thank you so
I'm
much.
a novice.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know how to use it.
No. You learn, right? You're a smart guy.
You know. So yeah, that's what I give somebody
Somebody
independent, grassroots, right? Wants to do well by the community.
You're not putting any political party, right?
No.
No. You don't answer anybody but yourself.
No party behind me telling me what to do. No interest group telling me, helping me in any way.
Yeah.
It's just me, my sister, and my son. So
great.
I think I could, it would upset a lot of people.
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think for that reason alone,
There's a number of you
give
that
me
really,
a shot.
Yeah, a lot of your I'd say half of you are really serious ones that really want to do something.
Yeah.
And that's why if you see the videos, you've done some of your videos online. I've seen more. You do more videos.
Yeah.
How's the response been for your videos?
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. And I've had good response on my Facebook page over.
I think what
the
I got from
last couple of days.
my emails from you is that they like your videos because you're direct. You're not sugarcoating anything.
It's
You know, like
it's
you're not
not
going-
scripted. I
You're not-
don't.
that's what I mean.
I
You're
just
not-
talk
you're not
from
like,
my
you're not being like you see on something on CP24.
I just have something that I want to say.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right, and I get on and I say
If
it.
you get attacked, you defend yourself.
Right.
Which is good.
Yeah.
I like that. That's the first one I saw. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the videos. You gonna make any more? You got 3 days.
I
left.
always make them.
I know. Yeah.
Right, it depends what comes in my head and what comes up at
I like when
City
you go
Hall.
like
Right now they're having the speed camera debate.
Oh yeah.
Right, the speed camera debate. So and that's another thing. Where he puts in the legislation, says you can have it. No, you can't have
No, you
it.
can't have it, yeah.
Right, and now we're back to square one, and everybody's, what are we going to be doing next? What are we going to be doing next?
What's
right.
the next thing you cut off?
But if the people getting a ticket today, after he's announced that he's getting rid of them,
yeah.
right? Or is he going to give them recourse in the future for the city to be paying them back?
Well,
I don't know. You don't know until you see the legislation, right? So if you have somebody like that in the premier's office, it changes his mind on a whim,
Yeah.
right? You're better to protect your financial interests yourself, City of Toronto, and
I say let the city run the city. Leave the city alone.
yeah, put it in the City of Toronto
Yeah,
Act,
exactly.
right? Of what the city can do and not do, right? If he wins the bike lane thing downtown, the effect of that.
Yeah, see the judge ruled against. He's trying to fight it now.
No, he's appealed it.
He's appealed it. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
right. So if he wins the appeal, the effect would be that the city wants to redesign a road, and then then they'll have to upput that final decision to the premier before they do anything.
Yeah.
Right? Because we can't spend money, put down hard infrastructure and spend money, and then the premier comes in and says, no, take it out.
Yeah. It's like the cameras.
Right? Like,
Well, that's
you're throwing money away.
Yeah.
Right? And we don't have it to throw away. So,
Anyways, thank you so much, Mr. Brian.
well, Phil, thank you very much for
Me and you the
doing
first time?
this.
My mom,
Yeah,
my mom
this is
looks,
great.
my mom looks good.
Yeah, yeah, she's cute.
Yeah, she
I
like.
like
I
her.
like his blue suit. Looks good.
Yeah.
My father used to wear blue suit. Yeah.
Yeah.
My dad. Really, yeah. She likes it. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a talker. She's Irish. I talk her. Yeah.
Yeah.
She, Julie. They had pictures of her, the tables. She was by your table at one
Yeah.
point. She was at Andrew's table. So people would email. Oh, your mom supports him. Oh, she supports her. No, she's not any political. She's just sitting with her walker, trying to be calm and out of
Yeah,
the way. You know? It's
out of the
hilarious.
way.
The amount of people that said, "Oh, she supports Brian Matthews now." No, she was just sitting beside. She was talking to somebody. Cause she talks to everybody, right? I was giving her a good, give her a good laugh. She's having a laugh about that.
Yeah,
Because she has to remember, who was I sitting beside? You know, the guy in the blue suit. Oh, yes, I like that guy. Yeah. It's hilarious seeing her. Like, yeah, she's the Irish history of her
Yeah,
family.
yeah.
Yeah, she just.
Yeah, she told me.
Yeah, she's gonna be 91 on Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My dad's 90.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Right?
Yeah.
So
I'm taking her downtown for the weekend. She likes the one of the hotels she stayed at, so I'm
Nice.
gonna go down there and celebrate there. She likes that.
Oh, great.
Just to get out of the house and
have a good time.
Yeah, I will. So thank you.
tell her I said
I
hi.
will. She'll be Monday's the voting day, and Tuesday's her birthday. So
Yeah.
she'll be watching. She's actually more interested in the election than any of the other one now. Because
Oh, yeah.
at first I'm taking her out. I usually keep her home. But I say, come on, Mom, let's go do it. Let's go
Yeah.
to the TC. Let's go. You want to come with me? You can sit there and I'll tape it. And yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Instead of leaving you by yourself all the time. I mean, she
Yeah.
got people to care of her about. She enjoyed herself.
Yeah.
She just was concerned about the Washington. But she loved all the candidates. She talked to all the people. She talked to all your team and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And I got a response from people. Oh, your mom's so sweet. I go, where's she now? Oh, she's over there. Because she goes missing, right?
Yeah.
She's good. Because my dad was also in politics back then. She never got
yeah.
much into it.
Yeah.
I said to her, hey, Mom, why don't you run for council for the ward you're going to move into next year? Represent the seniors.
Oh,
She said, does it have washrooms down in City Hall? Yeah, Mom. But you never know, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to win probably, but but at least you're speaking up for the seniors.
Yeah.
Riding wheelchairs and how you stand.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she's outspoken in some ways.
I think-
You got to be careful what you say around people.
I think Scarborough would need a mayor. I think Scarborough needs a mayor. It's not going to be me,
That's an idea, right?
but I think
Each
Scarborough
ward,
needs a mayor.
Not each ward. Each.
Not an independent mayor, like to be mayor of City of Toronto. I think it's Scarborough's turn to find somebody
Like
with
Scarborough.
enough political clout
Yeah.
throughout the City of Toronto that they're from Scarborough to
Well, now
win
they're saying next
the
year
mayorship.
we need a new candidate. The ones are going to run again, and the old ones are going to renew themselves and they come back. We need
No,
a
we need fresh.
We
We need
need
fresh.
because they're all getting older.
Yeah.
People are.
We need fresh ideas.
They're getting older. They've been on 30
Right.
years, 30 years, 20 years. They're still there.
We need fresh
You know,
ideas.
they're getting enough perks and all that.
Yeah.
You know, I ran things I didn't. I would do an investigation first of all, right? And all the perks that they get rid of the perks. You don't need
Yeah.
them. You know, they don't pay for any of the events. from
Yeah.
what I heard. You get a lot of free stuff, but they get an expense account.
Yeah.
You know, which I don't really agree with. My version, if you buy a mayor to event, I'm going to pay for that.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a small organization like trying to make money.
Yeah.
Why can't you pay my way? I'll pay your way.
Right.
That's my thing. I make enough money as a mayor. I should pay my way. Right? That's my thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, so nice talking to you. Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
My mom's gonna watch the video. She's
Perfect.
She's bugging me this morning. When are you gonna be there? You're gonna be late. You gotta drop me off. I said, I'll get there in time. Don't worry, I'll take the highway.
Hey, Mom.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Brian Matthews. Nice
Thank
talking.
you
I'm
again.
gonna go turn this off here. I'll make a copy and I'll send you the copy there.
Perfect.
So let's see how long it is here.
Sounds good.